Thank you for joining us for another episode of Just a Guy in a Truck. I'm your host, Stanley. This week, we have an amazing guest by the name of Shawn Abbey, former owner and founder of Abbey Carpet Cleaning. He is the one responsible for all the great clean carpets for the last, I don't even remember how long he said. I think close to 30 years. Anyways, he's now a business coach, and business coach and teacher, and we go into a conversation about kind of where he's at and great tips for business owners and things like that, all while we clean up the city. We did shoot the video in our new truck, which you'll see. Audio quality is probably a little bit better. And yeah, we do all that. Before we jump in the episode, if you'd be so kind as to take your time and subscribe to the channel if you're enjoying the content, it really helps. We've been slowly growing, and we really appreciate that. And so without further ado, we're going to have a conversation with Shawn. Thanks.
Okay.
Shawn, welcome. It's
Thank
early.
you. Thank you. It is early for a Saturday.
It is early for a Saturday, but we're early because I don't want to bake in the 100-degree weather.
Oh, who does?
This is actually, I think I will allude to it in the intro, but the reason we're in this truck, which is the new truck, thanks to everybody who is supporting us, it's got air conditioning. The other truck doesn't have air conditioning.
Air conditioning is good.
Air conditioning is good.
Yeah, I like that.
So, name of the game. We're going to drive around.
Okay.
Members from the community have given us a list of places to check out. Not a whole lot this week, but I also know where there's a lot of... I also spot things out and about. We're going to pick it up. You're going to fill the truck. We're going to have a conversation while we do it. And then we've got the bigger truck, so you might actually break a record. We might have to put an asterisk on your name. He did it in a bigger truck. And then we'll go to the dump. You'll guess your weight before you go on the scale.
Mm-hmm.
And then we'll come off, figure out your weight. That final number will go on our board on the other truck. I'll have to write that in. And then there's no prize. It's just it's bragging rights, I guess.
Bragging rights is good.
Bragging rights is a good prize.
Now, let's go back. You had in the beginning of this conversation, you said you're going to load the truck. That was your words. You're going to load the truck. So that means you're going to watch and I'm going to load.
We will load the truck.
I just thought I'd be clear.
You're like, I just want to make sure the terms are clear. I'm fine either way, but no, we will load the truck.
So make sure you don't get a back injury or something.
Oh, yeah, no, injuries are very prevalent. You are our first West Salem guest. So we are currently in West Salem, location undisclosed.
Mm-hmm.
For privacy reasons. A lot of people have been wanting us to check out Wallace Marine Park because it is a hot spot, but I'm afraid that it's probably more homeless camp than it is illegal dumping. And optics-wise, breaking up homeless camps is not what trash companies should be doing.
That's correct.
So that's a job for the police.
Yep.
But after they've broken them up, we're happy to come and clean them up.
Outstanding.
We're like the little red blood cells. They're the white blood cells that break all the diseases up. Ooh, probably shouldn't call diseases. Optics. Anyways, Shawn Abbey of Abbey Carpet Cleaning.
Mm-hmm.
Backstory.
Yeah.
So just go for it.
Started in 1991. Went down to Arizona, bought my first truck-mounted equipment, and basically started learning as I go. Now, the interesting thing is financing for this was a little unconventional, and I don't recommend it. But I needed to buy a truck, and in this case, in carpet cleaning, you've got a truck-mounted machine mounted in the van. Mm-hmm. And so that it kind of all came together. So people, as I'm learning, people said, oh, get an SBA loan. And the paperwork was astronomical, so I kind of ditched that and went to the bank and said, I need a loan to start a business. And they said, well, sure, but we need 2 years of taxes. And I kind of went, well, I'm starting the business. And they said, we need 2 years of taxes for the business. So that didn't work. And so that wasn't a good fit. So I walked out, and then I thought for a minute, then I walked back in. I said, I need to buy a van. Yeah, we can do that. So I bought a van and then put the machinery mounted in there on my Visa. I figured if things went sideways, my wife at the time would be able to, still support us while that got paid off, while the equipment got sold, and anything, if I was upside down or anything, that would pay off if I found another job. And so anyway, Abbey Carpet Care launched April 15th of 1991. Flew down Arizona, drove the machine back, and basically started hustling after work. And then after a while, I went into it full time, and mostly I targeted apartments and just visited them, got to know them. Basically, just went and hustled. And also with the commercial side, I hustled a lot of restaurants, I hustled a lot of stores, and probably for the first year was just a lot of hustling. If I wasn't working, then I was out selling. And a lot of that was just during the day. And the interesting thing with restaurants, I wanted to make sure I caught them in between meals. So it was like 10 o'clock or 2 o'clock. I would start hustling restaurants. Yeah. So after a while, I got a little string of restaurants that I would do in the beginning of the... Nice.
I told you.
Nice. There you go.
The new truck is just as unstable.
So there you go.
Yeah. There it is, right there.
That'll come out in the edit, right?
No, we might leave it in.
Yeah.
So you're hustling restaurants.
Yes.
I like to show that I'm also a human. I think that
we are, aren't we?
I am incredibly just not. I'm good at what I do, and I try at everything else.
Good.
Anyways, so you're hustling down. By the way, good on timing, because a lot of people don't like being like when everything like the worst thing for me is when a salesman calls me on the phone trying to sell me a service or a product or something.
Right.
It's like when I'm loading a piano in the truck. It's like, guy, wrong time.
Yeah, it is. You want to make sure to get at a convenient time where they're catching the breath. And you want to make sure it wasn't a matter of selling. It was a matter of creating relationships, right. Creating friendships. Get out there, get to know people.
Right.
Ask a lot about their business. How is business going? And just say, probably the best marketing I've ever done was I got these magnets that had my name on it, just a flat magnet that people could put on their refrigerator on the jobs that I did, or I would give them away. Right. That they would say, no, who is that guy again? I don't remember. They can look and see it was Abbey Carpet Care.
Right.
And so that was probably the best marketing tool I've ever done.
I think my parents had, not to date you or me, but I think my parents had an Abbey Carpet Care magnet on their refrigerator when I was a kid, back in like 95.
How old are you?
I'm 36.
Jeez. Yeah, that was a long time ago. And you were young.
I was,
That's impressive.
I was 90. That would have been 95, 96.
Yeah, I probably would have just been rolling. With apartments, I moved into residential. Started playing a little bit of residential.
Uh-huh.
The interesting thing about apartments, I was doing mostly apartments, and that's where I could get some practice. That's where I can get kind of cut my teeth on, get some challenges. Sure. A lot of apartments are very challenging.
Yeah.
And so there's a couple times where it's like, I don't know what to do here, because it's so, it was so damaged or so...
dog pee, cat pee.
Yeah, that ended up being a lot of fun after a while, after I started learning what I did.
Care homes are also another tough one. I've done the carpet cleaning that I have done when I was working in care homes. That one's tough because that one's human.
Yeah, waste. And unfortunately, when it's human, that falls under the term of biohazard, and that falls out of my
purview.
Yeah, yep. Exactly. So animals, that's fine. I actually had, strangely enough, I had one lady who had a couple of cats, and I would come on a regular basis to decontaminate her carpet. Now, decontamination is pulling the carpet up, removing the pad, sealing the floor, replacing the tack strip, and sometimes if they're spraying, I'd go up the wall, put new pad, clean and treat both sides of the carpet, and then re-engage the carpet. That got expensive because it's a lot of labor.
Yeah.
But we were there every month because of her cats, and she actually shared with me, these cats cost me about $10,000. And so it's like, wow.
Yeah.
And I got about $3,000 of that. and the rest were in vet bills and all of that because they were really high maintenance cats.
Yeah.
So we love our animals,
Right.
and I'm not being critical of her because she loves her cats, and a lot of times that really helps us in our life. But a lot of times it was the funny parts are we have tools that can diagnose stains in the carpet and or odors. Like a lot of times if I'm walking in, I may see an odor. I may smell an odor, and I've got a good smell palette. Taste palette, different story, but smell palette. And so I usually would smell something. Now I got to break the news to the customer that I think their dog or cat may have offended the carpet. So I have to break it to them. And a lot of time it's like, oh no, that my dog or cat doesn't do that. So I'd have a black light that would fluoresce under that black light. Yeah. And so, or a probe a lot of times if that happens.
Right.
And so a lot of times I would kind of show them, and I don't know how many times, honey, get in here and see what your cat did.
Yeah,
come here and see what your dog did.
Yeah.
And why is it my dog? And so there's that banter going back and forth. So a lot of times it's a matter of here are your options, create a positive moment of truth,
right,
and let them, educate them, and then let them.
I love that
decide.
You said that. We're gonna circle back on that. The positive moment.
Oh
of
yeah,
truth.
I think that's really huge in business. It's huge in marketing.
Yeah. And
it's something that any business owner should probably always be aware of, is that positive and negative moment of truth.
Right.
So as we get into, as we start learning about decontaminating carpets, and especially in apartments, knowing if the carpet can be salvaged, it may or may not be salvaged, but I give them their options and they make a decision. Mm-hmm. And after a while, it kind of dawned on me that I've got all my eggs in one basket.
Right.
All of my clients are a part of one management company. One person can make a decision. I'm out of business. So I thought I'd start diversifying. Realtors, getting into other apartments. Then I started getting confident. And most of all, I started taking classes, becoming educated. I need to become an expert. I want to know all I can about what I'm doing. So there's a lot of classes available, and I took classes. I learned as much as I could and started applying that knowledge. And then I started dealing in residential.
Right.
So with residential, it's more of a production. With apartments,
right,
it's more of just get the job done.
Right. There's a show. There's a bit of a theatrics that have to get done with the residential stuff.
Yeah, because you want to show that you respect their house,
right,
you respect their things. I mean, we broke a few things. That just happens. But we want to make sure we show complete respect to the client, that we're there to respect them, we're there to do a good job, and we're there not smelling like smoke.
Yep.
Not with dirty shirts or anything like that. We always carried a clean shirt on the truck just in case we had one of those jobs. And I wanted to make sure all of our vans and trucks were air conditioned, so they're not showing up a sweaty mess to their next job. Little positive moments of truth.
That's
like
this truck.
This one, like this one. I'm feeling the air conditioning already. It's feeling pretty good.
I was very big on that. I was like, I'm not about to make an employee suffer in an unair conditioned vehicle.
Yes.
I'll do it. I'll happily do it, because I get to be like, oh no, I'm the owner. And people are like, man, this guy's sweating and he's really, and I'm like, it almost works in my benefit.
Yeah, it really does. I know one of the first guys I hired ended up starting his own carpet cleaning business. So we would a lot of times coordinate. He's too busy, he would refer. I'm too busy, I would refer to him.
Yeah.
And we talk shop a lot. And we if we had questions, we had challenges, he would call me and run it by me. That was a good thing. But it was always funny because we would show up in a parking lot, and my first van was not air conditioned, but the second van was.
Yeah.
So a lot of times, I would say, "Yeah, come on in my van. It's air conditioned." Or he's like, "I hate you." Or a lot of times I would see, we would park van to van and window to window, and he's like, "Roll your window down." I go, "No, I don't want to let the cold air out." So it was always that banter.
Yeah.
But he was very successful, and the funny thing, it kind of circled back where he was getting out of the business, so I bought his business.
Right.
And I bought 3 businesses during my time at Abbey Carpet Care, and I learned a lot. And I
like you purchased other, like, your competitors.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. I purchased his, down the road. And it was just a great experience. And the second one, I purchased it just for the truck. I needed to buy another truck, and he was going out of business. So he said, "Hey, look, why don't you take my, buy my business and you buy my client list," and which worked out. And so the third one, this guy, he had mostly night jobs, and so I didn't really care for his equipment. I mean, it's not something that I wanted to use, and so I was just planning on selling it.
Yeah.
Well, what happened was he was doing a job, and he had the hoses connect to the truck, and they go in to where the job is. He was in a commercial job cleaning. Then all of a sudden, he looked down and saw his hose go right out the door. Somebody stole his van.
Oh.
And he never got it back. So we just said, you know what? Just go ahead and buy my client list. And his client list was really high maintenance, and they wanted super low prices. And so I just said, hey, look, it's not working for me. Here's your client list. And I think one of his guys ended up assuming it. So that wasn't a good one, but it worked out. I had to make a decision that this is not for me.
Right.
So
you're moving into residential. You're
Correct.
now getting education on decontamination.
Mm-hmm.
Where was the sort of the swap point where you're no longer on the truck doing the job, but now you're the show. You're the
like the face of
six box trucks rolling around Salem-Keizer.
I wouldn't say that many, but but I do know that's the hardest thing for a business that's growing. Where do I start backing off and and I wasn't one to be in the office all the time. I wanted to be out there. I'm more of an outgoing type of person. That just fits my personality.
Mm-hmm.
And so it was a matter of kind of a long story short, it was hiring people. They would ride with me.
Right.
And then after they were getting really knowledgeable, I would purchase my next van and put them in it. And then we were both going around. We had walkie-talkies at the time. And then, of course, a phone company by the name of Sprint had the push-to-talk feature. So we would radio back and forth.
Hold on a second.
Yeah.
Let's see if we got...
He
left the radio on. Jamie!
You have walkie-talkies. There you go.
Yeah. We walkie-talkie all the time.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's great. Still use it. I love that. Oh, it's so good. That's so fun. Okay, so you guys are push-to-talk feature at Sprint. I remember when that
Sprint
came out.
Push-to-talk. A lot of contractors had it. We did it. And, of course, that evolved into cell phone plans. The prices went down.
Yeah.
And pretty soon we just communicated by cell phone. They just kept their own cell phone, and we moved from there. We ditched the walkie-talkies.
Yeah.
But going back to how do you get, I mean, when you have employees and you start getting them knowledgeable, usually I would have 2 employees on one truck and then 1 employee on another truck. And those 2 employees can really get a lot done in one day, especially with residential, because you're slowing down and you're being careful. And usually with 2 people, you've got one that's helping you pull hoses around their Tiffany lamp so it doesn't fall, and pulling hoses around the corners in the hall. And we use what's called corner protectors. We put booties on our shoes. Whenever we come in and out, we always just pull them off, put them back on. And they weren't the disposable booties. We actually found some Cordura ones that worked really well. And they were kind of big, but they covered our feet.
Yeah.
Because there's a few times we actually tracked mud in where we didn't know, but being Oregon, it rains a lot.
Right.
And
fortunately, you're a carpet cleaning company.
Yeah, fortunately, we're a carpet cleaning company. But if you clean a carpet and you're going in talking to the customer and you're walking, oh, shoot.
Right.
Yeah, you've had a little bit of mud on your feet. So now you got to roll the truck again, clean that up.
Yep.
And
that costs money.
That costs money.
Like, well, crap.
Put you behind. Yeah.
Yeah. I also, when I was doing a little digging in you guys bring in the tool mats. You bring all your tools in on mats.
Yes.
Or you put your tools on a mat that you bring in.
Yeah, it's a staging area. So if we're doing carpet repair or any type of the odor control like we talked about earlier, we always put our tool box, if it's a tool box, we put it on just a simple mat you can get at Walmart or anywhere. So we wanted to make sure, because a lot of times in a truck, they kind of roll around and
Yep.
the shelves get dirty, and
Yeah.
want to make sure to show respect. So we staged everything by the front door. We took our coat off. We put it on, pile it by the mat so we didn't forget it.
Right.
There's a couple times we had to go back to pick up our jacket on some occasions, or pick up a tool. So if we staged everything by the door, we knew efficiently that as we go out, we grab a tool that we don't need and take it back to the truck.
Right. I like it. The idea that I think you said it. I'm not sure if you probably said it, but you're not forgetting tools at the job site either.
No, that's how we don't forget tools at the job site. Yeah.
Right. I love that because, for us, we have a very limited tool set, but we do still carry tools in the truck, and like a Sawzall is like $200.
Yeah.
And our average ticket price is like $400. So you're just basically throwing away half of the job by leaving a Sawzall at the job on accident.
And then you got to turn around and use the time to go back and get it.
Yep.
If it's not stolen by somebody else, if you leave it outside.
Oh yeah, I didn't see it. The homeowners. And I'm very fortunate. My customers don't do that.
Yeah,
but I can see it.
Yeah, likewise, a lot of our customers we're very honest. The interesting thing is we just started going into residential just like we would apartments, but then there was a marketing class that I took, and it really talked about positive and negative moments of truth and how to really
let's jump into that.
Yeah, that a positive moment of truth is of course a positive view from your customer, not online review, but a positive thought from your customer, like, oh, that worked out really well. He was really good. He took care of my carpet, is very respectful. A negative moment of truth is of course that negative part, where if somebody comes in, smells like smoke, that's a negative moment of truth. If they come in smelling sweaty, that's a negative moment of truth. If we leave a tool, that's a negative moment of truth. Anytime with a business, you want to look at your business through the eyes of your customer.
Yep.
And you want to look for those negative moments of truth that your customer may see, and you turn them into positives.
Right.
That's how you keep building your business, and how you keep building your clientele to really be loyal to you.
Right.
You want cheerleaders. Back in the day, if somebody had a negative experience with your company, they would probably tell 15 people. And fortunately, a positive moment of truth with your company, it would be 5 people, or less.
Right. They don't tell anybody.
Yeah, they might not tell anybody, but they'll tell a few people. And when we started really focusing on eliminating negative moments of truth, turning them into positives, that's where the business really started to grow, and it really started to flourish.
Yeah.
By doing value added service.
Yeah.
And that's what it came out to. It was just we charged more, and we were on the higher end, but a customer would see value.
Right.
And with that positive moment of truth, we started growing, and we started really seeing a lot of cheerleaders for our business out there. And that's the word of mouth.
I've seen, so with that regard, allegedly there's some stuff over here. Somebody pointed it out off of Facebook. We will give them a shout out if.
Oh, it looks like I'm seeing it right now.
I see some camp material, but I'm not seeing. Well, there's some furniture. We'll call it furniture. I'm not going to disturb these people, but we'll pick up some stuff.
Looks like some furniture over there. Yeah, I see it too.
But I've heard of so many people who saved a buck who got screwed over, who have just, I'm never going to refer that guy.
Right.
And then I tell people I'm not the most expensive, but I'm probably third most expensive.
That's fine.
Like, I'm still but I'm a high value.
Yeah, it's a high value, and costs go up, so your prices have to go up. So you're always keeping an eye on those costs. But the high value type of business is something that you really want to achieve to be, and I like that.
Right. Oh, that's a nice little desk with some fentanyl on it. So we're gonna make sure we don't interact with that.
Yeah, that's interesting. We'll see how that goes.
I mean, it'll be fine. I'll flip the camera on. I didn't show you how to operate the doors. I normally do. There are people coming over. I'm gonna flip on our lights.
Sure.
That makes us look official. We got a gentleman walking up to the truck. Yep. Yeah. Oh, we don't have to worry about the fentanyl. Yeah. Oh, they're characters.
Yeah.
They're characters. Some of them are lovable. Some of them not so much.
Yeah.
Anyways, that was Trisha Fahy. Oh wait, nope. Athena Flores, Front Street across from Grocery Outlet.
Mm-hmm.
The man, sorry, Athena, we were going to grab some of it, but the gentleman decided that he was going to sell the busted desk. I don't know what that entails.
No.
Good luck for him. So, anyways, where were we? We were talking about
Positive and negative moments of truth.
Yes.
Yeah, and we found that that we were constantly looking for positive moments of truth and constantly looking for negative moments of truth. Now, as we started growing, I wanted to make sure to really start really create a vibe, an atmosphere,
right?
That camaraderie. That was the goal.
Okay.
And it's hard to do when you're a family-owned business,
right?
And so that's always the difficult part. So I've worked very hard to try to be very careful with that. Sometimes I succeeded, sometimes I failed, but but my heart was right there, trying to make sure it was in the right place to do really well with people that worked for me, and so that the team I developed. So one thing I always did is we had staff meetings, a place to communicate, and where we can just get together. I served breakfast. We had a griddle, and we usually made pancakes and eggs and bacon and all that good stuff. So we took usually about an hour and a half in one day a week to get together and have a staff meeting and talk about the negative and positive moments of truth. And usually I started out, usually included in that conversation was, what are the negative moments of truth that you see? What are the challenges that you saw? What are you working on? And so a lot of times it was just discussing what customers we had that week, or the challenges we saw, or how, even if a truck wasn't running right or something wasn't going right, we knew that we could talk about it and look at the schedules and, make decisions and hone the schedules accordingly. Because if I'm making the schedule, I may not know exactly what's going on the front lines. I may not see what they see. So I want to know what they see so we can be as efficient as possible.
Do you think it's important for them to see what you see as well?
Yes, I think it's very important. As far as profits, I always made sure that profit loss statement was open. And matter of fact, I'm glad you brought that up, because we did review that. How if we were profitable last month versus the year before. So usually we would print that P&L, the profit and loss statement, and put it in a binder so we can flip it, and see, we're doing much better than we were last year, or we're a little bit behind, but that's probably because it's 4-week month or versus a 5-week month, or all sorts of, it snowed.
I you can only control so many factors in the atmosphere. But I believe in open book management. Yeah. Like my people that work for me, I post every P&L, every month's P&L is up on the whiteboard. And then all of the KPIs we track.
Yeah.
And it's amazing when they take a minute and they read through it, and sometimes you got to educate them on it, right? Sometimes they don't understand what certain things are, and you explain to them, and then they'll dig in and they'll be like, hey, why are we doing this? Like, we just recently had a marketing meeting for a new ad campaign we're looking at running. And I sat the team down and I basically ran the numbers by them, and they were asking questions. They're like, why should we go with this one and not that one? And
questions. Yeah.
And I'm like, I actually didn't think about that. And so when I go back to the team that I'm working with, the other team that I'm working with, and I was like, hey, my crew is asking these questions, and they're not ready to, like, I'm finding that the team, like the vendors that would be doing certain things, they're not ready for those questions.
Right.
And then it like pokes holes and it creates a negative moment of truth.
Yeah.
And so anyways, does that, letting them being able to do that, does that also help build that like level of camaraderie?
It's a camaraderie, and it's also they also have skin in the game. In other words, they're like, this is where we are. This is where we want to be.
Right. And
so it's just it's the KPI, the key performance indicators. And so with that, it's a matter of, in that meeting, it's that open book. I'm a little worried. I'm a little concerned, or it's like, man, you guys are doing great. And it was always try to keep it positive.
Right.
And it's not the place to chew anybody out. It's not the place to be emotional. It's a place to just say,
here are the facts.
Yeah, here are the facts. Here's where we're at. And what do you guys think? And I think that's probably really important, especially in a small business, but also if it's a micro small business, or if it's a emerging business, probably a medium business, 7 employees or more.
Right.
I think that's something where you've got to be able to get together, and you've got to be able to open the books and say, here's where we're at. After a while, they start thinking,
right,
like, oh, this is not profitable. And they would talk about the procedures. Hey, look, let's not put this here. Let's start doing this. It's going to be more profitable. We'll be out of there earlier. And the customer will still be happy. It'll still be a positive moment of truth. For example, especially in Oregon, it rains a lot, obviously.
Mm-hmm.
And because we have a lot of clouds, obviously. But when you're pulling hoses from the truck, and they're 200 feet hoses, and so when you're pulling hoses from the truck, sometimes they're going to go across the lawn. Sometimes they're going to edge the flower bed, and that mud is going to come in on the hose, and why you're going to see it's going to rub off on the carpet. That may or may not be okay, but we want to. I think one of our guys just said, "Hey, look, what if we put stakes in the ground to where the hose is not going to go across the lawn, but it's going to go around the stakes, and it's going to stay on concrete as much as possible." Great idea.
Yeah.
So I went to Home Depot and bought a bunch of stakes, just metal stakes that we pound in the ground, and we keep in all of the trucks.
Hopefully you don't punch through some landscaping irrigation. Because that creates a new problem.
I don't think we've ever done that yet, but we've always wanted to make sure to watch for sprinklers and all of that.
Right.
But usually if it's in the far corner, if it's in the very corner of a concrete, sidewalk comes in, usually we kind of go with that.
Yeah.
But man, that's a good point.
Yeah.
Hey, think about that.
Yeah. Well, you would have thought. Yeah.
Yeah.
Whoops. Well, I guess we got to fix your irrigation. No. Yeah. I mean, every solution creates a problem, right? A new problem.
Yeah. But
you always problem.
Yeah, but you always talk about it. Any problem is one that can be solved, or it's just a matter of solving a problem. When you start a business, you're solving a problem.
That's
just
all
like
you
here.
do.
We've got trash, so that's where you come in and remove that for people.
Yeah.
Wonderful idea.
Yeah. So okay. So you guys look at you and your team. You're growing. You get to a crew where you can actually sit down, and you're not the only one coming up with ideas in the company anymore. You're not the only person running it. So how does it? I mean, at its height, when you sold Abbey Carpet Care, how many trucks? How many employees did it have?
Three trucks, and the employees kind of a lot of times in the summer we would bring in some part-time, usually college kids or high school kids that are looking for a job. So it varied. But for the most part, we've had 1, 2, 3. We had 4 employees, and then of course another 2 or 3 that would kind of come in as part-time, kind of rotate in as part-time, or night jobs and stuff like that.
Right.
That was always pretty handy. But if I could talk about that a little bit, when you're selling your carpet, when I sold the carpet cleaning business, the idea was way back, probably when I was about 5 years in. I got the idea, and I heard this from somebody, that you build your business as if you were going to sell it.
Right.
That's the idea. So you want to have systems in place. You want to have things running smoothly, where all you have to do is turn over the keys, grab your check, and go do something else.
Yeah.
So I always kind of worked on that. And I had a really good employee that I made the foreman, and who ended up buying the business. But he was with me for 21 years.
Right.
And we operated for 26. So he came about 5 years in.
Okay.
So he was with me for that long. And that way I knew that he was the guy that I was going to, focus on. Not really, I didn't really tell him. I just kind of had in my head, this is one guy that could probably buy the business.
You're number 2.
Yeah, my number 2.
The number 2 is such an important person in the company. Like, I would say probably more important than the founder CEO.
Oh, I think so. You want to have a number 2 that's going to talk to the employees, and a lot of times, a lot of the guys would talk to him like, I got a problem with this. So he actually take him out to coffee, or if it's something that he would approach me with, like, hey, this, we need to do this. They're struggling with this, and
right.
So by all means, you got to have an open mind and go, well, what can we do to solve it?
Right.
What can we do to help this person? What can we, are they, overwhelmed with life? They just need a day off. All of that, these things.
Do they need help?
Do they need help?
Like
anything like
unoverwhelmed? Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
No, I think the employees are that's the backbone of the business, and so
the lifeblood of your company.
Yeah,
right?
Yeah, it's the lifeblood of your company. Yeah, and if you don't take care of them, whether it's taking care of their emotional needs or their physical needs, or you're not taking care of their financial needs, or however you want to, whatever thing you want to put on that,
right?
Your company is crippled if you don't take care of your.
Well, it's going to show to your customers too. That's going to be that negative moment of truth that we talked about.
I don't really care. This is just a job.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And a lot of times, customer will see that attitude. And I've had a few calls that would say, "It looks like your employee is having a hard time," or I noticed this, and I had one that called, and we had to deal with a major issue.
Yeah.
But I always like to have that open. Like, okay, thank you for telling me. I will address it.
Right.
I didn't tell him what I was going to do, but I would make sure to address it, to make sure the customer is comfortable with that and they feel like they've been heard. The idea when you're listening to customers' complaints, when you're a business owner, especially a young business owner, you take it personal. I mean, when you first start a business and you get a complaint, a lot of people will take it personal. Some don't.
My 4-star review.
Yeah.
I have 1 4-star review, and her name's Nancy, and it eats me alive because it's like I have 5-star review and 1 4-star review, and I'm just like,
yeah, you take it personal.
Yeah,
you take it personal, and but it's a matter of when you're doing that review, and we'll talk about that in a minute. But when you're doing that review, you want to make sure to, put something positive under that. I'm sorry you had a hard time with this. We have changed our procedures to, to address this, and thank you for your feedback.
Yeah.
We are. You always give that positive, that validation.
Right.
I've seen some reviews where they get defensive, and the owners will, spit back something insulting. That's a negative moment of truth, and that is one thing you do not want to do in reviews.
Well, and it destroys your brand. So
it really does.
If you're looking to sell anything like that, and it makes the entire company unsellable.
Exactly. And again, you want to build your business as if you're going to sell it. You run your business as if you're going to sell it tomorrow.
Even if you're not.
But you always want to make sure, because somebody may come by and say, okay, I'd like to buy your business for $1 million, for example.
Yeah.
Are you going to say no?
Right. or like, what happens if you die? Your significant other has to then sell the business because she doesn't want to run it, or they don't want to run it.
Oh yeah, I've seen that. Yeah.
So, I don't know. I agree with you. I think, and you should have it ready to sell at any point. And I think, if you have a negative moment of truth and that's reflected in your reviews, in public opinion, you're done.
Yeah.
Maybe it's still salvageable, but
it takes a lot more to regain that trust.
Right.
If it's already been lost.
Trust is fine china.
Yes, it is.
You can if you break it, you can glue it back together, but it's never the same.
No. And so you want to make sure to really address that, be on it, and keep that goal to be 5-star. And I agree. A lot of times you take it personally. Where I was going with that.
No, so we were talking about we were still talking about positive and negative
Yeah.
moments of truth, but the sellability of the company,
Mm-hmm.
running it through.
Yeah, you keep your books clean, keep them. I mean, not that you're being crooked, but a lot of times, business may have really unorganized books.
Yeah.
And if somebody's going to come in and maybe offer you some money for your business that you can't refuse,
if your books are organized.
If your books are organized, if they're
Right.
not, you're not going to be able to sell it.
Yep. No, and I don't think my bookkeeper, if she's watching, she's going to love what I'm about to say. I don't think you can run your business if you don't have organized books. You do not have a pull. It's like going to the doctor and the doctor doesn't check your blood pressure before he gives you, your diagnosis.
Right.
He doesn't listen to what the issue is.
He looks at the big picture.
He's just like, yeah, here's a prescription.
Yeah.
Which I think is a problem. Like, keep your books organized because you want to know what's going on in your business.
Yeah, everything labeled. If you're using any kind of chemicals, have it labeled. Make sure your tools are organized, and where it's just, if you have toolboxes, it's grab and go. It's ready to go. Just keep it efficient. So if you just left tomorrow, your business would still run just like it normally did. That's the goal.
Standard operating procedures.
Yep, standard operating procedures.
Having a set of those, we have SOPs. Probably not very good ones, but
no, I could have improved too. There's no question. Especially when you're a business owner and you got employees, and a lot of times I was really surprised how much burden I was carrying when I had a business. And a lot of people don't understand that, because you've got employees who rely on you for their livability. Mm-hmm. They rely on you to keep them busy. They rely on you to, to keep their house, income in for their house. And so that's a burden. And of course you've got your own too.
Right.
And so that's a hard thing to really carry around. And as your business grows, you take on that weight, but you don't know it. After I sold the business, it took about 6 months to be able to
take a deep breath and actually relax. My wife probably doesn't want to hear that. I feel like I've gotten more neurotic as I've become, or as the business is growing. I feel like there's 1,000 chainsaws up in the air, and I don't even.
Neurotic. What? Tell me about that.
It feels like there's 1,000 cats that I'm all trying to herd, and they're all running all over the place, and I have to keep track of each one, and I'm losing focus for the others when I focus on. And maybe neurotic's a bad word.
Mm-hmm.
We have a couch in the grass supposedly coming up here. It looks like it's right there.
Yeah, I see it.
That's it.
There it is.
That looks like a couch to me. Not to take away from the point though. Maybe neurotic's not the right word. Maybe it is. I guess I just don't know the right word, but it's like everything. I'm trying to keep all these eggs in a basket, and they all just keep popping out.
Well, men aren't known for their multitasking ability.
That's true.
So there's that.
That's true.
I know that women can have a baby on their hip and they can solve the world's problems and clean the house all at the same time. How they do that, I have no idea.
Not a clue.
Yeah, but when you're a business owner and being a guy, it's hard to be able to take care of this, keep an eye on that, and always go with this. I'm more of a, the ADD guy. Try to focus on one thing and try not to look at all over, all these things. It's just, I got to focus on this to solve this problem, and all these other problems are starting to arise. And so it's hard to really, really focus and really do all of that at the same time.
Yeah.
It's all the chainsaws in the air.
All the chainsaws in the air.
Yeah. I get it.
Let's grab this couch. I'm going to pop the lav mic off. So that way, if another homeless person walks over and tries to distract us, I'm not walking away from.
That works. So does your audience know how you started your business?
Does my audience know how I started my business? No, I don't really. I mean, kind of. It just kind of happened as a um, as an oh shit moment.
Really?
Yeah. So I was working for a property management company, and one of the things that I always had working in
Yeah,
apartments.
I understand.
One of the things that was always hard was getting a good vendor.
It's hard.
Not necessarily a cheap vendor, just somebody who I could call and that problem's gone immediately. And so what I ended up doing was buying a truck,
Mm-hmm.
and I would just do my own dump runs. But if I wanted to build the company that I was working for, I needed to have an LLC.
Yep.
And I needed to have insurance. I needed to have all this stuff. And so I went and I got it. I formed the company. And then I was doing it on the side, like just on the weekends, throw a $5 Craigslist ad up. I was horribly underpriced, nowhere, like unbranded, like just, it was just something I did.
That's how you learn. Yeah,
And
that's how you
then,
learn. Yeah.
and it started getting a little bit of traction, and I went to my boss and I was like, hey, I'd like to move from 5/8 to 4/10 to see if I can, get a Friday and really get this
Mm-hmm.
thing going. And he's like, actually, we're letting you just go.
Oh.
And I was like, okay, well, it's either full send or,
Yeah.
and I went for it and started learning. I had ran previous businesses before and learned that, like, I had a handyman business during COVID that I lost because of lack of advertising.
Oh.
People don't know you exist. And in a market where, everybody doesn't, like, finding somebody to come into your home and be trustworthy, especially during a pandemic,
Right.
they're not exactly wanting you in the house. And so that, with a lack of advertising, not building trust,
Mm-hmm.
the business just work dried up.
Yep.
Also, not running your books properly. Like, that was another thing that I learned was, I was going to ask you, in the beginning, did you ever get customers who were like, oh, can I get a discount if I pay in cash?
Yeah, there was a few of those, but I did notice that, and I complied. Okay, I'll give you 10% off or something like that. And after a while, I'm going, wait a minute.
Well, because they're expecting you to not run it through the IRS.
Oh yeah, I always did, but
I always do.
Yeah, there was, but yeah, I never thought about that. I always thought it would just be easier with cash. So
I won't give up their names. No,
really,
no, I'm not. I'm not saying my customers would ever defraud the IRS.
But there are people out there that.
But there are people who have asked me to do that.
Mm-hmm.
But
it's like, yeah, that can get you in a lot of trouble.
Yeah. Well, and I always explain to them, if I don't put the cash on the books, then it's hard to grow because I got to prove income. If I don't put it on the books, then I don't have any income.
Yeah, and how can you get financing for the next truck purchase or the next equipment purchase?
Exactly.
Honesty is the best policy.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, ma'am. I messed up. Let me go take care of that for you.
Yep.
Or return your money or whatever.
Right.
It's just you want to be able to know that you're not perfect and own your mistakes and always be honest. That's going to be the best way. Your ego doesn't matter.
No, ego is the enemy. That's
Yeah.
one of my daily mantras.
Well, it's interesting when you talk about pride, when you talk about ego, it's a blessing and a curse. Yeah, you've got pride, you got ego, you take pride in your company, you take pride in your, for those who don't have a business, you take pride in your house, the lawn's perfect, the car's immaculate, all of that. So and also you're looking to, your pride drives you to be better. You want to be better. You want to be the best in town. However, it can also be a curse where it's like somebody is complaining and you take that personally and you get defensive. That's where your pride gets gets in the way of really growing a good business.
Right. Yeah. Well, and it makes you immune to feedback.
Right. And you have to be able to take feedback.
Yeah. That couch, by the way, I forgot. That was pointed out to us by Trisha Fahey. That feels right to say. So thanks for pointing that out, Trisha. We're actually on our way to pick up another couch that I spotted. But switching conversation points here, we need an update on the backhoe situation from Harbor Freight.
The backhoe situation?
Yeah. So if you don't watch Shawn's web series is on YouTube, which you haven't uploaded in a minute.
I need to upload that. Yeah, I'm glad you reminded me because I do have some content about that Harbor Freight backhoe. It's first of all positive. I put on there. I do remember that I had a backhoe with a problem. I bought one of those, and let me just kind of go backwards a little bit. My house was built in the 1930s, and I don't think that lawn that was the backyard and the front yard. I think it's 1930s lawn. Because I tried to dig into it, and it was like that deep and just hard roots and all of that. Mm-hmm. And so I tried a hand rototiller, didn't even touch it. It's like trying to rototill steel.
Yeah.
And it's like, I'm gonna need some. I need some bigger equipment. Yeah. So I looked at renting, and it was cost prohibitive because I would just be on Saturdays. So I would rent it and go through and then have to take it back on Saturday or Sunday, like a weekend. I knew it was going to take me a lot of weekends. So what I did is like, well, I'm going to go ahead and just buy a Harbor Freight backhoe.
Yeah.
And then I'll just turn around and sell it. And so I ordered it from Harbor Freight, and it came at 1,100 pounds, big crate. Mm-hmm. And so I started putting it together. Got it all put together. And pretty proud of that, by the way. Got everything together. Spent $85 on hydraulic fluid, filled it up, and wouldn't start. Just wouldn't start. I tried to start it wouldn't start. So I called Harbor Freight, and I pulled it just like probably 50 times total. Yeah. Called Harbor Freight and got a hold of their customer service. Very professional, and I'm very happy with as far as the voice. I'm always I'm always positive and want to make sure to not express frustration, because when you're calling customer service and you're getting all upset, and you're starting to starting to call them names or anything like that, they're going to put up a wall, and they're not going to be the ones that are going to really bend over backwards to help you. Yep. They just want to get you off the phone, so so you're not throwing attitude at them all the time.
Exactly.
So I was nice, and they were nice too, and they actually bent over backwards to really help me. And they said, okay, well, we're going to send you another engine. I went, okay, what do you want me to do with this one? Do whatever you want with it. So a new engine came, pulled the old engine off, put a new engine on, tried to start it. Didn't work, called them back. I said, that's not working. Well, did you try this, try that? Yep. Try this, try that? Yep. Everything as was supposed to. And I said, the interesting thing is I pulled the old engine off and it started right up. Oh, so it must be the hydraulic pump. So they sent me a new hydraulic pump.
Okay.
And put it on there. Yeah, it's not working. They sent me another one. So I have 2 spare hydraulic pumps, by the way. And so I put that on. Nothing. And so I called them back and I said, okay, we went with an engine. They went with a pump, and it's still not starting. What am I doing wrong? And they said, well, it's got to be, these backhoes have little levers that, you can manipulate it. And so I'm messing with it, trying to get it going, and it wouldn't start. And they said, it must be the valve block. Okay. So, and they said, let's send you another valve block. Okay.
You're almost at this point, you almost have a second backhoe.
I know. It's what, just keep sending me parts. I'll just build 2 backhoes. Well, the funny thing is they actually called me back and said, those valve blocks are back ordered.
Right.
I said, okay, so what do you want me to do? Well, go ahead and send it back. We'll send you another one. I said, okay, you realize it's 1,100 pounds, and you realize it was in a crate that's fairly flimsy and had to be broken up to, take it apart and build it.
Yeah.
And I talked to the lady on there. It was really kind of funny. She said, well, what do you mean? And I thought for a minute. I said, have you ever unboxed something and then decided it wasn't for you and tried to box it back up? Oh yeah. I just did a set of pans not too long ago. I said, it's that. You're asking me to do that with a 1,100 pound backhoe, take it completely apart and crate it. Now, if you want me to do that, I can do that. Just tell me and I'll hire somebody to come and take it apart and put it back in a crate and send it off to you. She goes, let me get back to you. I said, okay. no problem.
Yeah.
So, and to their credit, that afternoon they called me and said, "Look, it's going to be cost prohibitive for us to, for you to hire somebody and to put it together." And they said, "We appreciate your willingness to do that legwork for us. But we're just going to refund your money." And I said,
Okay.
"Okay, okay."
Cool.
I said, "And you can do whatever you want with it." So I simply they refunded my money, and I sold the engine, that extra engine,
Mm-hmm.
and used that money to have a hydraulic company come by and say, "Diagnose this for me, would you?"
Yeah.
And they said, oh, they actually bled the lines, they put it all together, and they actually got it started, and they said, "Yeah, it works fine." So now I had a backhoe. So to Harbor Freight's credit, they went that far to make sure to put that on. And I thank you for reminding me, because I need to finish that. Yeah, I put
follow up. Yeah,
I need to follow up on that.
So it was a positive.
It was a positive moment of truth.
Right.
Now, say what you want about Harbor Freight. Some of their tools are disposable.
Yep.
But I know that going in. I've purchased tools and that I know that just need to get one job done. $14 hammer drill that I just needed to, and it lasted for 4 holes, but it was for $14, and it was just down the street from the job I was doing.
Yeah. Yep.
Threw it away after I was done.
Yep.
Disposable tool. Some of their tools I still have after 10 years. But I do know that their big thing is their customer service, and I will sing their praises about their customer service, with the caveat, you've got to be nice for anything.
Yeah.
Any customer service, you
course.
want to be able to be nice. This is what I'm struggling with, and especially when they said just send it back, I went, okay, you realize, when you paint that picture and you're nice about them and you're working together, then you're going to get a good outcome.
It's easier to catch flies with honey than it is with gall.
There you go. Yep.
Yeah. I mean, well, I've got a saying that I like to tell people is I like to assume that I'm the dumbest person in the room, because I'm either right or I'm pleasantly surprised.
Yep.
And so when you call up and you're like, "Hey, I think I did something wrong here. Can you help me?"
Yeah.
And then they're like, "Yeah, of course. Of course. We'd love to help you."
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, that customer service really, I am a firm believer that that's where we're headed. Mm-hmm. Is just everybody's in customer service. Everybody's just in service.
Yeah.
Period.
Especially in the service business, you have to it's a highly competitive business, but you also have to make sure that you're the one that stands out. And the way to stand out is with that value added, really positive customer service. So yeah, that was the follow up on the Harbor Freight backhoe. I'm glad you reminded me. Thank you.
Yeah. Good customer service. Yeah. That's the key.
And so I use that backhoe to simply just break up all of that lawn, so I can actually, and even when I did that, I still couldn't do it with a rototiller. So I found a garden tractor with a rototiller behind it to actually go through and bust up that lawn. Yeah, just buried it. Yeah. And it worked. I just finished the project not too long ago. Yeah. Yeah. So focused on that that I completely forgot to do a follow up.
It's all right. It's all right. Well, now you know.
now I know. Yep.
We're getting close to the. This is one of the tricky spots here when you're coming. This drops from like 55 down to 25 real fast. Oh, yeah. Anyway, so maybe we can get into this a little bit. There's a couch coming up here in like 2 blocks that we're going to grab.
Okay.
But selling Abbey versus passing it down.
To family?
To family, or like your son. I don't know if your son would be interested. Why would you want to sell a company versus pass it down and generate, I don't know, a legacy or something?
Well, by all means, if my sons wanted to take part in that company, by all means, it was there for them. But that's not where their career path was going. Mm-hmm. I now have a son that's involved in a lot of office work. He's in management now, and he uses his brain. He loves going into accounting and forensically pulling that apart and finding different problems with. And then I got another son who's working in colleges. His passion is helping people. But so none of that, they just weren't on that track in their career. And I have to respect that. I don't want to put any pressure on my kids to be able to take the business. No, you got to take this business and do the
Right.
guilt trip and all of that.
Yeah.
Daughters, if they wanted to, they could have done it too. I've got 2 daughters too that definitely could have taken over the business and been successful. But their track was on a different. One went into counseling, one went into marketing and communications, and
Right.
so very proud of them all. Is that it?
No, but
Okay.
we can actually grab that.
Yeah.
We'll flip around. I wish this guy wasn't following me so closely.
So yeah, I'm proud of them all, and so I knew that they weren't going to be. They were choosing their own path, which I totally support.
Right.
And so I let them do that, and without any guilt. And then I knew that multiplicity in business was going to be the key.
Right.
There it is. I see it.
Yep.
And with that multiplicity is how you hand off a business, or you grow the business where you can pass along a lot of responsibility to that person, and then be able to
Like walk
Exactly.
away and just kind of just take
walk
a
away,
cut.
do some. Yeah.
Take a cut.
What really blew me away is a lot of times, and myself included, I was very passionate about business. You eat, drink, sleep it.
Yeah.
And you're always, especially the first 5 years. And so it becomes your passion. And you wouldn't think of getting rid of your baby.
Right.
But I do remember talking to CEOs, millionaires, and they talk about, you run your business, grow it, sell it, do something else. I said, how can you think of that so easily? But now, looking back, it's like that was probably the best advice I ever got.
Yeah.
Just
It is weird running into like people who, like millionaires who have entered and exited businesses. Just they get in there, they put their thumbprint they put their thumb on the scale a little bit, and then they walk away,
do something else.
And it's just, how could you? But I think that may be the difference between a CEO and a founder.
Right.
Like, could you ever imagine Mark Zuckerberg walking away from Facebook?
Well, he'd probably have a great retirement.
I think at this point it's not a matter of retirement.
Right.
I mean, he's already worth billions.
Billions, right.
So, I mean, it's not.
But he built that up from the ground.
Right.
After he dropped out of Harvard. He built that up from the ground up. You would think as you're building this whole thing, you become part of it. And are you the face of it, or can it run on its own? That's a good question. Yeah. I know with my little business, I backed off being the face of Abbey Carpet Care and let the brand just carry its own. That's probably a good goal right there.
Yeah. Let's get this couch real quick.
You got it.
So yeah, I see a lot of that, a lot of ditched couches and stuff, and I think, honestly, what I think a majority of it is the road to hell is paved with good intentions. It's people throwing stuff out on the street saying free.
Yeah.
Because they don't want to see it go to a landfill.
Sure.
They don't want to see, they don't want to try and sell it because they don't feel like it's worth anything. But you put it out at the curb.
Yeah.
People take the cushions because they're good to sleep on. Sure. And then the couch is worth nothing, and it is an eyesore.
Yeah.
And this is going to be a tricky one because this one is on Hawthorne.
Yes.
But we'll grab it. We'll grab it nonetheless.
Yeah, it's a futon. It'll be nice and light.
Might even be able to just chuck it up over the... I love the little hazard beacons now.
Those are nice.
Those are it's so cool. Where was it? Oh, it's right there. See it.
I always feel kind of official if I had one of those.
I know.
I didn't have any of that in my trucks, but I was like, that'd be kind of cool.
Yeah. Just to throw cones out in front of your truck or...
Oh, yeah.
I bet we could just throw this thing up over the side.
Yeah,
screw it.
1, 2, 3.
There it is.
That's how it's done.
Anyway, so Now we're really getting into it. Now we're really starting to stack it up. It's good. Usually there's a lot of stuff down that way on Hawthorne. I got my mic on. You still got your mic on?
Yep, I got mine. I double checked.
Cool. So yeah, Mark Zuckerberg. Would Facebook be the same if Mark Zuckerberg walked away? I mean, obviously, but because it's outgrown him.
Sure. When you think of Facebook, you think of Mark Zuckerberg.
Right.
The key would be, I mean, obviously he knows more than I do, and he's smarter than me, but it seems, in my mind, you'd want to kind of back off of that being the face of Facebook, and then, let the brand carry itself. So you can just simply just leave, and the stock's not going to go down. All of that just keeps going.
Right. That couch was told to us by me. I was the one who pointed that out. I like to note things while I'm driving around because I see them.
The funny thing, it was a microfiber couch, and those are the hardest to clean because they're hard to restore. But a lot of people liked them at that time just because they're soft and they feel kind of like suede and all of that. But boy, they were hard to clean, so it made me feel really good to throw that in the back of your truck.
You are the bane of my existence.
Leave. Yeah, we had to actually put more labor and charge more for microfiber couches, and most of them are not very expensive. So the price we would invest in that,
a lot of people would.
Go like, yes,
I'll just go buy another one.
Yeah,
that's the other thing. Like I feel, at least in my industry, like there's a mattress right there. We could get that. The disposability of everything, like it feels almost like there's like this like level of planned obsolescence.
Yeah.
Like, I'm not a conspiracy theorist, but if I were,
you would think that was intentional.
It's intentional. We're just getting into it now.
This is fun.
This is the fun part.
Yep.
Okay. We're going to drive down Hawthorne and see if we can find anything that's been set out there. We've found a few things. Okay. Green light's still on. Green light's still on. That's good. That's good. So you were talking about the TED Talk with Simon Sinek, which I absolutely, again, on Shawn Abbey's YouTube channel.
Yeah.
His TED Talk that he had, which was basically, I think it was kind of the TED Talk that he gave for his launch of the book, Start With Why.
Yes.
And like the why being in the core. I would like to dive into that idea because I think that there's a lot of value for other business owners that if you have a why, I've always said if you have a why, well, I haven't always said, somebody said it, I copied it.
Sure.
If you have a why, you can bear any how.
Tell me about that. How did you walk away with that?
If I have a reason to if you have a reason to get up in the morning, you can get up in the morning, regardless of the conditions of how you're getting up. Do you know what I mean? Like,
yep.
The world could be falling down around you, and as long as you have a reason, whether that be your children or your business or your friends or a project car that you have, like, it doesn't matter. Like, the world may be falling apart and you can get through it because you have your reason to exist.
Now, there's a lot of times people get distracted. I'll just interject because a lot of times people get distracted from that why because they're thinking about their anxiety. They're thinking about how terrible the world is or whatever.
Right.
And so they kind of get distracted and get discouraged from really finding their why. And the two things I would suggest: turn off the news. Yeah. that would be one thing. And of course, push through your anxiety. Now, that's not easy, but I tell people everybody has anxiety. It's just a lot of people know how to work with it.
Right.
And when you're working through that anxiety, the first thing you do is make your bed. You've accomplished one thing.
Yep.
Okay, you've accomplished it. Make your bed. You're getting up in the morning. Your first why is to make your bed. Second thing is either get you or your family breakfast. However that your family dynamic is, you got to eat.
Right.
And then it's the step by step. I just finished a book about Navy SEAL training, and they always say you get up and you do your first massively hard exercises, but you're thinking, I just need to make it till breakfast. I just need to make it till lunch. Okay, I just need to make it till dinner. And you just make yourself those very small goals. I just have to make my bed. So you get up and make your bed. I just have to eat, either for myself, my family. I just have to eat.
Right.
And you want to make sure to eat because you do need that nourishment to get your day started.
Well, and a lot of the anxiety may be caused from just hunger.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm a firm believer that stress and anxiety are actually just your body telling you that there's an action that you need to take.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you have to do something, and you got to find out what that is.
Right.
Yeah. No, I agree with that.
So finding your why. I know Simon Sinek recommends asking your friends and just be like, why are we friends? No. Why are we friends? Why are we friends? And then at some point they start. Yeah, I remember. Does he start? Do they start telling? They start telling you their why.
Yeah. A lot of times they don't know what that is.
Right.
They haven't thought that deeply. I know that I've talked to businesses and I've talked to individuals just about why should I use you? When there is a business and a customer asked me this.
Yeah.
And early on, and I didn't have the answer. But I had one customer say, so why should I use you versus another cleaner?
Mm-hmm.
And my thought was like, I wasn't prepared for this. I didn't know what my why was. And I went, because we're the best. Everybody's the best. Yeah, she said that. Everybody's the best. And I couldn't let that go. I went, well, how can I be better than the best? What's my why? What do I want to do? And I couldn't let that go. It just completely engulfed me in trying to figure out, why am I here? Why should I, why should customers use me? Why should I be in business? And I came to the conclusion of, well, first of all, I want to make a difference. And the way to do that was to hire good people, smarter than me, and treat them well. And that is a huge factor right there. Right. And second of all, how can I spread, like what we're doing today, how can I spread it to my community?
Right. So
I got involved in the Chamber of Commerce, got involved in a lot of their civic functions, volunteered a lot. And that, first of all, I enjoyed that. I made a lot of friends.
This is fun, right?
This is fun. I'm enjoying this.
Yeah.
I'm not even breaking a sweat yet.
Yeah.
Maybe that's where we're in good shape.
Yeah.
Would you say that?
Yeah. Well, I'm in A shape. Circles are shapes. No.
But yeah, it's so all of that, you got to get out there and really find your why. So that's the second stage of that why is making a difference, but also making a difference in the community. And you get a benefit from that because your company name gets out there. Right. People start to get to know you, and then they start either using you, referring you, or tertiary review. Because a lot of times I went in there when I joined the Chamber of Commerce. I made some of my best friends that are still my best friends. Some of my best friends today through the Chamber of Commerce. Right. And also being involved in their civic functions. Right. Being a volunteer, being involved in the community, doing things like this, doing things that really help, really make this town a better town. And so I would say that too. But going on with your why.
How do people find their why?
Oh, how do they find their why? You got to take that step. My knee-jerk reaction was like, well, you got to take a step in the direction. What if it's the wrong direction? Then you'll know. Then you take a step back.
You can take a step back, or you can divert.
And I've had a lot of people, what if I mess up? Then you'll learn something. It's not a matter of your own pride. All of us mess up. Right. All of us make mistakes. Yeah.
You're wrong. You're wrong. The trick to life is just figuring out how to be less wrong.
Yeah.
You're always wrong. You're just figure out how to be less wrong.
Yeah. But you got to take that step, and then, oh, that's not it. Take the next step. You may go a couple steps in. Oh, that's not it. You get to take a couple steps back.
And you can learn from each step. You're like, okay, I like these parts, but I didn't like this part.
Right.
You know?
And you're not going to know unless you actually take that step.
The analysis paralysis is the death of
I am guilty of that. I can overthink something to death.
Jeez. So this right here,
yeah,
I keep driving. I mention this every time we drive by it. Everybody mentions this.
There's a homeless camp.
There's a homeless camp.
Yeah.
That is Oregon Department of Transportation. From what I understand, that is ODOT's land.
Correct.
And we're not allowed to touch it.
Correct.
And
you gotta let it go.
I gotta let it go.
Yeah.
It's
hard because like I can fix that.
I can fix it.
Yeah.
I can fix you.
I can make a difference here.
I could yeah, and then it's like, but I'm not allowed to.
Yeah.
There's a lot of politics in the just trash. Man.
Oh yeah.
It's a pretty contentious industry. But yeah, so So what did you, I guess the question I would ask is, what did you end up, when the customer, that lady asked you, why should I choose you?
Mm-hmm.
You actually, I remember you telling this story on your, again, Shawn Abbey's YouTube channel. We'll definitely link it in the description. But A, what did you end up what did you end up bringing up? And then B, I keep hearing the term USP, and I'm like, I don't even know what that is. And then you said is a unique selling position. And I was like, I know exactly what that is.
Mm-hmm.
So thank you for that.
Yeah, sure.
But what did you end up finally kind of landing on? Like, why should people use Abbey Carpet Care?
Here was my answer. Well, first of all, we don't pay minimum wage. We hire people, and when I'm talking, I say we hire people smarter than the owner, which is me.
Right.
And I send them to school. I watch over them. They work supervised with the hands-on after they go to school, and we watch them very closely until they are competent to be able to take care of you, to take care of your house, and to treat it with respect. And that's the first thing that we do. That's what we do, and that's what sets us apart. That's why you should use us over somebody else. Now, we're not going to be the cheapest,
right?
But there's a reason for that, because we want to be able to pay our people well,
right?
And I can only maybe think of a couple times going, okay, well, let me think about it. But most of all, it's like, when can you come? When can you do it?
Right.
Usually people will enjoy the idea of, they're a family-friendly business. They want to make sure to take care of the people that are on their team.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, that's how I came up with that unique selling position. Simply that we
care about our employees.
We just care about our employees, and our employees care about you. That's what we instill in people, and it's still in place to this day.
That's good.
Yeah,
I like that. I like. I think that's the winning. I think at least part of the winning formula for any like local business, because once you get to a certain point, right? Like,
sure.
if you went, Mr. Bezos, what is your unique selling position? He's like, because I really care about my employees. I'm like, nobody buys that.
Yeah.
Nobody's gonna. No, you don't.
Yeah.
Like, maybe you don't not care about them, but it's not, you don't know every employee's name. You don't know their family. You don't know, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So at some point it becomes something, it morphs. But I do think that taking care of your employees is an important part of the winning solution, or is a part of the formula at least.
And give them that passion to take care of the customer.
Yeah.
Sam Walton of Walmart was very passionate about that. You're here to take care of the customer. And with that, one thing that really impressed me is he would actually talk to people on the front lines. Here we got the owner, CEO of a major corporation that would go and talk to bring a bunch of donuts at 3 a.m. and meet the truckers at the break table and start asking them, what what are you guys seeing? What do you need? What do you feel is the most rewarding, and what's the most frustrating? And he did that a lot. When he visited stores, he would ask that frontline employees. And that stuck with me, because I always had to make sure to ask the people that worked for me, what do you guys think? Tell me what you think. And and a lot of times I would get that feedback that I never thought, because my mind is so distracted with administrative stuff and running a company, that I don't always have that clear sight of what a customer needs.
Right.
And when they tell me their perspective, that's what really refines a business. That's what really gets it to grow. And that's what really solidifies your USP, unique selling position. This is what sets you apart from everybody else. A lot of businesses lose sight of that, or don't do that altogether. And I met with people just saying, they'll tell me about their business and what's the most frustrating thing. Okay, why should people use you? And I get deer in the headlights. Because they didn't think about that.
Right.
And then, or they would say something, and then I would say, why? Then why do you feel like that's going to be better than somebody else? Why are you better than this person? Why? Drill deep.
What happens if you drill I'm just trying to put myself in the other person's shoes.
Sure.
If you drilled deep at a certain point where once they have their why,
mm-hmm.
and they go, well, why do they care about that?
Mm-hmm.
Well,
why should they care about that? Yeah.
If they don't care, then if that's not something they care about, then it's probably not a good fit for the business. And learning to accept that not every person is your customer.
Right.
And I think that's actually, I think that's also very relieving as a business owner, is I don't need everybody. I don't need everybody to buy my product. It's great if they do.
Right.
If I found the once in a lifetime service or product or thing, great.
Yeah.
But the likelihood of that happening is 1 in 100 million.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Like how many light bulbs how many people invented the light bulb and how many people tried?
Right.
Like
exactly.
Sometimes it's just
just not a good fit. You got to change directions.
Right. Or you just have to accept that maybe this type of customer, this demographic is not my demographic.
And I have learned that, because I have changed from apartment demographics to house demographics. And okay, so why do I want to stay here when I can get a higher end of client and a higher quality client, and one that I don't have to worry about if I leave a tool, they're not going to just put it in their toolbox. They're going to call me and say, hey, you left the tool here.
Right.
Honesty, and ones that appreciate you and you appreciate them. It's that mutual appreciation.
Right.
Yeah.
I have 2 target demographics, but
yeah.
my commercial target, because I have a commercial and a residential.
Sure.
My target for commercial is apartments. I enjoy helping apartment communities because I know what it's like to be the maintenance guy. I know what it's like to be the apartment manager.
Yeah. They go through a lot.
It's not even, you'd think it's like property management, it's people management.
Yeah.
The amount of drama that's in an apartment complex is so hilarious.
I have heard stories from property managers, and I'm convinced, and to this day, that they should write it into a book. I think that would be some interesting reading. About the drama that they have to
memoirs of a property manager.
There you go. Somebody should do that.
That's a New York best time seller right there.
We should get credit for that, though.
We should.
Yeah, because we're giving people the idea.
If you write that book, I've got a few property managers. I'll run that by. If you write that book, I just give me a 1%, just 1% cut. I think that would be just fine.
Well, I said it first, so I should probably.
That's true. You did.
I should probably get maybe.
You can have 50% of my 1%.
I'll take it.
Done.
I'll take it.
Okay. Let's see what else we got. I wanted to ask. So Mike Rowe is a big hero of mine.
Yes.
Weird because he doesn't actually work in the service industry, but he beats the drum.
Mm-hmm.
And he says, "Don't follow your passion, but bring it with you."
Right.
So, did 10-year-old Shawn Abbey want to be a carpet cleaner?
No.
Nope. Astronaut?
No.
Okay.
No. 10-year-old Shawn was so busy being a 10-year-old that he didn't really know what he wanted to do when he grew up. I was too busy. We just moved on to 12 acres in the country, and I was too busy out there just enjoying these 12 acres. I had motorcycles, and then later I had horses, and then, of course, there was just places to ride. However, when I got to 16 and 17-year-old Shawn,
Mhm.
I knew that I wanted to have my own business. And I
Right.
worked for an entrepreneur. Back in the day, it's now True Value, but back in the day, it was there was also a hardware store called Coast to Coast.
Okay.
That was my first job. I worked for my dad, who was an electrician. He started his own business. And then I worked for the Coast to Coast in the hardware store, and I really saw that I liked people. I enjoyed people. I enjoyed helping them,
Mhm.
helping them find what they want. And later, that served me well. After I selling the business, I did work part time at Lowe's, and I was really surprised how much I knew just from my lifetime. So I was able to
Right.
help a lot of customers, and I enjoyed that. So I would say not 10-year-old, but 16-year-old Shawn wanted to have his own business eventually.
Right.
What I
didn't
wasn't
know.
sure at the time, but I knew I wanted to have my own business.
How did you find carpet, or how did carpet cleaning find you? I suppose because that's really what it was for me, at least. Is I didn't find junk removal. Junk removal found me.
Yeah, I would say that. I would say the same. At the time, I was working in an office, and I felt those walls closing in on me because I'm an outgoing person.
Yeah.
And so working in an office, yeah, I still worked with people, but it just it it wasn't growing in me, and I had a lot to learn at that time.
Right.
And so that's when it happened to be that my father-in-law had a carpet cleaning company, and this was actually manufacturing the machines that you mount in the van and also manufacturing the chemicals that you use to clean carpets. And so I remember I called him. I said, oh, I was talking to my wife at the time. I said, well, maybe we should start our own business. Maybe carpet cleaning would be an idea since your dad, takes care of that.
Yeah.
And so I called him up. I said, what would it take to get into a truck? What would it take?
Mm-hmm.
He goes, are you serious? I said, yeah, I'm serious. We're talking about it, and I would like to really pursue that. And I'm thinking maybe part-time afternoons, after work or weekends or something, because I was ambitious, ready to go.
Yeah. This looks like a good spot.
Yeah, I agree.
Go for it. Finish your.
But so he said, well, let me see what I can find for you. In the meantime, talk to your banker. And we already talked about me going to a bank, but he found something, and I got into my first truck for $9,800. 4,000, 4,000 was Visa, and the 5,000 was the truck that I had a loan for.
Okay.
Yeah.
So this is the road that the last record was, or the last record-breaking run was on. 1,100 pounds. We pulled pretty much just exclusively off of this road.
Really?
Yeah. Wendy Childs of Earth Moon Acupuncture. She's just the sweetest lady. She's so nice.
She went with you?
Yeah, she went.
Awesome.
She's this tiny lady.
Mm-hmm.
Like, just looks frail, but she got in it. She was down in these ditches just raking up stuff.
Some of these frail people can really surprise you.
Oh, absolutely. A lot of people look at me and they go, "Oh, you're a big giant." I'm like, I am, yeah. But like, it's the little ones that you got to watch for, because they're the scrappy type.
Yeah.
The underdog. So, let's see. What else can we talk about? I kind of ran out of my list here.
Well, tell me about. Walk me through your why.
My why?
Yeah.
My USP?
Your USP, correct.
So, we are actually solidifying. I had it in my head a long time ago, because I'm not publicly political. I really don't. And honestly, I'm privately, I'm not very a political person, but I am very rah America.
Oh yeah,
I love this country. Like, is it perfect? No. Is it arguably one of the best countries in the world? I think so.
I agree.
And I know with a name like Patriot, it can be divisive. I know that I've gotten some blowback. This looks like something on the side of the road. I'm going to throw my hazards on because I have a nice van who's very closely following me. Thank you for not running me off the road. But I'm doubling down on it this year. It's kind of, I really want to solidify it as an American first brand where we only purchase American made goods, American labor. We pay Americans really well. We vendor with American only businesses. Like, I really want to be a part of a movement that brings business home. Good. And that is my new why. At least that's my goal. And so when if somebody's like, well, why should I choose you? It's like, well, because your money stays here. It doesn't go overseas. It doesn't go to these other countries that will eventually, and I mean, I could see the negatives of that. I could see why people wouldn't want that. But I think that, moreover, I think it's more of a benefit. I think people will see the value in that.
Yeah. And you're community based, and you do everything you can to make this community a better place. And I do that through business. Yeah, no, I support that.
Yeah, that's that right now is at least my why, because your why always changes.
It does. It grows.
Right.
It's a living, breathing document is what that is.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's always gonna, just like I used to have hair your color, and now it's not.
I used to have hair.
There you go. Used to have hair. We grow.
We grow. And we lose.
Yes.
All right. Turn that off.
That was persistence.
Turn that off. What's that?
4 times trying to throw that little cushion.
Oh my gosh. you were. To me, it was you standing underneath it while it's falling that was giving me the nervousness, because I was like, "That's gonna hurt you. Don't be under things as they fall." That's a good general rule.
Well, you have good insurance, right?
I've got the best insurance. My insurance guy he's already been in the truck. He picked up a pee bottle. We talked about that.
Yeah, we already.
Listen.
Oh my gosh.
He's great. I love him.
Yeah. I
think he should stay in the office where that's what is good for him.
Yeah. Some people are geared to that.
Yep. 100%.
Yep.
So my question to you was, as a business owner, as you start growing a little bit, right? You get copycats.
Copycats, okay.
How do you, because you can't change it, how do you find it in your head to mentally accept it?
So, if I'm understanding you correctly, it's people are copying your procedures or copying you, like.
I mean, not me, but like there have been times where I see things that I do that I see other people do it exactly like that. And I'm just like, copy. But then I'm also like, but I didn't invent that. And so it's like, you got to learn to let go.
Well, imitation's the best form of flattery. That's the first thing. It's like, oh, I'm flattered. Second thing is that causes you to get better. Oh, they're copying me? Well, I guess I got to better up my game.
Right.
That keeps you improving. Competition brings out the best in people.
Right.
So if somebody, when I started, there were 71 cleaners in this town. Now I think it's a fraction of it, because a lot of times people retire, or a few have passed away, or a few have
Took cash and hid money from the government, and that always catches up on you.
Yeah.
Fastest way to kill a business.
That,
by the way.
oh man, honesty. It goes back to honesty is the best form, the best policy.
Yep.
But yeah, competition is always, so a lot of times people can get hurt, like, oh, he's copying me, and then they get into their head and they get angry and all that. You got to push that aside and say, okay, they're copying me. I'm flattered. Now I got to be better. I have to be better than this. I have to be better than that.
Right.
When that lady asked me, why should I use you? And I'm looking at 71 cleaners in town. I thought,
all of them say they're the best.
Yeah, all of them say they're the best. It really got me thinking.
Clearly 70 of them are lying.
Yeah, clearly. Yeah. But yeah, there's a lot of things. And one thing that was really important, I'll just throw this in. It was really important to really get to know these other cleaners. Yep. I've made some friends. We would sit down with coffee and talk shop. We would just exchange ideas, and a lot of times a little trash talking was there too.
Oh,
and
sure.
That was always recreational.
But you got to be careful, because if you rib the wrong guy, at least in my industry, there's some rough individuals, and fists can get thrown.
Yeah. Last thing you want to do is throw hands with somebody. So you want to get to know these people before you start trash talking them. Absolutely.
Right.
Yeah, I think that's probably the most enjoyable thing, is getting to know other cleaners, and you can all feed off each other, refer, and you want to know these people because you may need to refer your customers to them.
And you want to know the quality ones from the not so quality ones.
Exactly.
You know, who are the bad actors? Who are the? Because I mean, you can't clean all the carpets.
Okay.
I mean, you can't. I can't carry all the trash.
That's true.
You know, I can't. You can't do it all.
Yeah, you can't do everything. You've got a house that maybe costs $180,000. You got a house that costs $500,000.
Right.
You know, they're two different demographics. You can't charge the $180,000 house the same price unless you're just cleaning a small a small piece of carpet. But nevertheless, a lot of demographics are going to expect a different price or a different treatment from you.
Right.
And so I think, but one thing that I noticed is, and what sometimes business owners, even employees, miss is, maybe, and this has happened a couple times, where maybe you're just there doing a minimum charge, and you're in your mind, you're thinking, oh, I'm not making a lot of money on this.
Yeah.
You know, and it comes out in your attitude, it comes out in how you talk to the customer. But if you look at it as an investment, there are times I have done a minimum charge with somebody who has, got a promotion at work, and their house, and they move into another house. That house gets bigger. They call you. Yep. They get a raise at work. They move into another house. That house gets bigger, and they call you. Yep. So a lot of times, these little jobs that you don't think are making a lot of money, you treat the little teeny room at minimum charge the same way you would treat the $500,000 or $1 million house. You treat them the same way, and a lot of times you grow with them.
I treat them. My thought on it, on my minimum pickups, I don't make any money.
No,
I break even.
Yeah.
I look at that as the cost of customer acquisition.
Yes.
And I'm excited, and that makes me excited, because then I'm like, I get to grow with this individual. This individual gets to grow with me. I just serviced her yesterday. She's like my favorite customer, and she was off of a minimum charge, and she's going through some hard times right now, and she's like second guessing things, and because she called me. It was the maybe not minimum charge, but like the step above the minimum charge, every 2 weeks, every month, and it's just been that same way for the last 3 years.
Yeah.
And so now she's going through a hard time, and I'm like, whatever you need, right? Because we've grown. Not only has this friendship grown, but there's also been this, like, my company statistically, or my data supports that you are one of the best customers that I've ever had. So what is it that I can do to make it so you are successful? Because my company's success, and I told her that. It felt weird to openly admit that, but like I was like, no, like, you're my friend, I want to see you succeed.
Right.
But also, I need you to succeed because my company depends on your success.
Right. A lot of time, that's called relationship marketing.
Right.
And that's something that I think a lot of businesses do and are good at, and some businesses need to work on.
Right.
As their relationship marketing. A lot of times, like, we're not making any money, so we're not going to worry about this customer. Well, okay, but you want to think, is it something is this a customer I can invest in?
Right.
Yeah, I'm just charging minimum charge. I'm breaking even, but is this someone, this could be someone that I could grow with, and that can grow with me.
Right.
I mean, Abbey Carpet Care has been in business for over 30 years, and there's some customers that have probably been with us 25 years, still.
Right.
And a lot of those we've grown with.
Right.
They've simply grown up with us, and we've grown up with them. The funny thing is, I always thought that this was interesting. After doing this for a while, I noticed something. So you clean the house, and it's just two people. Then they have kids, and you're cleaning their house, and you're cleaning up the spit up, you're cleaning up the spills, and okay, the kids grow into teenagers. Now you're cleaning up a lot of the tracking in. They bring their friends over, they track in dirt, so you're cleaning up after that, and then you're cleaning up to get ready for graduation party, and then they go off to college, and you're cleaning on a regular basis. Now you're not cleaning so much anymore. Maybe you're there every 6 months. Now you're there every year, or even longer. The kids come back from college, they're still at the house, and then you're coming back to 6 months, and then they get married and they move out, and now you're back to every year. But I've noticed a lot of them, they come back. They come back to save for a house, and they bring in their kids with them. So now it's all over again.
Right.
You're cleaning it all over
Well,
again. I always thought that was a little fun pattern.
The kid who grew up with this guy cleaning mom and dad's house. Now I want you clean my house.
Yeah.
Like you clean my parents' house. Like I trust you to clean. I remember fondly as a child, like we always had clean floors. Yeah. And that was you.
And you developed another customer with that. When they buy their house.
That is, I think, is the power of treating. I like to say treating every customer as my first customer, and every customer is equal.
And your customer at 5 o'clock should be the same. You treat that customer the same as you did your 8 o'clock one.
Yep.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter how tired you are. I get it.
Yeah, I do too.
Yesterday was rough. We had a hot tub that we had to remove in 102-degree weather, and then I had a 5 o'clock, and it was and I showed up, and she's like, "Do you want to reschedule? Like, it's okay." And I'm like, "No, it's fine. It's fine. I got it. I got it.
This.
I'm gonna get it." And I did. Like it wasn't that big of a deal.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, it's that consistency because they want that same customers want that same consistency. They want to feel the same way when they,
and you train your employees with that same passion. Right. I'll say this. We had one employee who went through a divorce, and he was always really good customer service. And I'm like, "Do you need some time off?" "No, I got this." And I noticed I went with him one time. Actually, I caught up with him to help him finish a job, and he was still in there, still that same bubbly person. He was able to turn off that hard time he was going through and able to keep going with that customer service, that positive moment of truth.
Right.
And
just bury your feelings.
I can't. Some people can't do that, but he was able to at least bury his feelings before he walked up to the door. And a couple times he probably had to go.
Right. Yeah.
Let's just get past it's that little goal. Let's just get like, this is a 9 o'clock job. Let's just get to 11. Let's just get to lunch.
Right.
And so, I am very proud of that guy, how he was able to go through that such a hard time, but he was able to turn that off, push that aside, and still get the job done in the same manner as if everything was fine. And personal life always gets involved.
Right.
A lot of us will go through a drama. A lot of us will go through a personal life. It breaks my heart to see that, but also it's like how can you get through this to be able to continue to get the job done, continue fighting that fight. Right. I'm very impressed with people that can do that.
My big struggle right now with my one guy is he actually has a hard time putting work down. And I'm like, brother.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, well, tell me about that.
I mean, oh my God, he's so good. Well, and I was bringing it up, the power of employees. You get with going back to the open book management. Yeah. You get an employee with two hands. Like, I'm not going to I'm not going to like reveal any industry secrets. Most me and my competitors, mind wise, this is a very low IQ job.
Mhm.
Like I pick things up and I put them down. That's all I do.
Yes.
I pick them up and I put them down in a different spot.
Yes, and you throw in the back of the truck.
Right.
Or in my case, 4 times, but yeah.
Right. But having somebody who comes in with a brain.
Yes.
Right. You get a brain for free. You're paying for the hands, but you get the brain for free.
Mm-hmm.
And the guy that I have, he's constantly thinking of, like, I'll tip my hand here a little bit. He did this little button right here.
Mm-hmm.
This is standard issue on all trucks. It's an eagle scream.
That is cool.
And he does that. He's like, so that way people look at our trucks. And I'm like, you are so genius. Like, that is so smart. And,
yes.
So if you're in Salem and you hear the eagle scream, that's usually one of us screaming at you. But it's standard issue on all the trucks. And so when you see that way people look at the trucks and then they remember, oh, that's they're having fun. Yeah. Like, the fun is,
it sets you apart.
It sets you apart.
Yeah.
We have fun when we do what we do.
And it gives off that vibe that people enjoy. I've always remembered too, even back when my first part-time employee were cleaning restaurants, and it's like he came up with an idea, and it was just simple about how carpet cleaning. You have that wand that you clean carpets with,
yeah.
And a lot of times I just threw it in the back of the van. But I noticed him putting it at a certain spot where it was more secure, and I thought, oh, that's a good idea, and so we started doing that. And then it dawned on me, I need to learn at least one thing off of every employee that works for me.
Yeah.
What can I learn as an employer from my employee that's working for me? Everybody can teach you something.
Yeah.
You don't know everything, and you don't need to know everything, but they're learning from you, and you can learn from them. And I think that a lot of people miss that.
Right.
Because I think that also contributes to that vibe of good customer service and, of course, a good work environment.
Yeah. Yeah. No, but building yourself a base where the employee feels like they can trust coming to you.
Yeah, exactly.
Huge. That's huge. But yeah, no. So, like, I was in bed. We close at 7:00. If I'm not in bed by 8:30, I am. There's something wrong with me. So I'm Mr. Early, but I'm also up at like 4:00 in the morning.
Okay, so walk.
But
go ahead.
But what I was going to say is, he called me last night at 9:30 and had an idea about something, and he just left me a voicemail. And I'm like, bro, put work down. It's okay. Like, we can rest. Like, we're allowed to rest. And I love that, but also, like, how do you get your employee to just like you had your employee who was able to shut it off, shut home off, and just do his job. And then I've got literally the exact opposite problem is that I have a guy, he's a 1099, so I can't call him an employee. I would never call him an employee. Yep. He's allowed to set his own rules and all that stuff. But I have a guy who I want to make my employee who won't shut it off when he goes home.
That's a blessing and a curse right there.
Right. So do you have that conversation? And if you do, how do you have that?
Well, it's one of those things. I've been kind of walking through that scenario, so let me just think out loud. It's like, yeah, great idea. Let's talk about it tomorrow morning.
Yeah.
And first thing, I'm like, he's got skin in the game. He's passionate about this.
Yeah.
Where did he get that passion, by the way?
I have no clue. I mean, he grew up pretty rough.
Yeah.
He's got that. He's got the entrepreneurial that little fire inside of him.
Yeah.
But he doesn't want to take the risk. He doesn't want to, or at least it seems like he doesn't want to go through all the headache of founding and owning a business and jumping through the hoops and, the administrative side of owning a business. Right? He would much rather he's like the type of person that would accelerate to like a chief of operations position.
Right.
You know, a strong number two, like head of deliverables type of deal.
So as an employer, and as you know, you're asking me what how I would process that. As an employer, I'm thinking, how can I encourage this? How can I feed this fire? So first of all, it'll be to his benefit, but also to my benefit. How can I feed this fire? If he's waking me up at night telling me something, I'm thinking that's great. But if I can't go back to sleep because I'm thinking about his idea until 3 o'clock in the morning,
right?
I would probably turn my phone on silent,
right?
To help me. But you want to be able to keep that fire going. But how do you do that and get sleep? There's this beautiful thing on phones that you can turn your notifications off.
Do not disturb. Yeah.
Yeah. And
at 7 p.m. my phone automatically goes into do not disturb. So
here's my question to you.
Okay.
You get up at 4 in the morning. Walk me through your day.
4
in the morning is very early. There's no sun out, and there's no people up around. There's few people up driving, but yet you're one of those people that get up at 4 in the morning. What prompts you to do that?
The gym.
The gym.
Yeah,
You're workout and you work out in the morning.
Yeah,
nice.
The people who work out after work, I'm like, whoa, what are you doing?
Yeah, what do you think?
How do you do that? Like, how do you go work and then go do more work? Like, but I do it the same way except in reverse. Yeah. No, I go to the gym so I can get my morning clarity. Come home, same breakfast every morning.
What do you eat?
Peanut butter toast on whole wheat with a half cup of cottage cheese. And a banana.
So that's why you're looking so ripped.
No, stop. And then I do a hot tub soak, and I think about, I start doing the mental checklist in my head of, okay, what are the tasks that I got to do today?
And you think about that in your hot tub. That's your thinking time.
Yeah.
Some people think in the shower. Some people think on their way to work. No, I get that.
And then I get up, get my uniform on, and then the phone starts ringing, and I start, slinging couches and stuff. That's, literally getting up at 4 o'clock in the morning because the business opens. I open at 6 o'clock. So so this is another unique selling position. We're the first to open and we're the last to close.
Yep.
Like we service later than anybody else, and we will answer our phones and start getting our schedule. Now, I will say our first official position is 11 o'clock in the morning. So like if you want to schedule a job, it's 11 o'clock.
You have online scheduling, or do people call it? Oh,
yeah, we have both.
That's handy.
We do both. I let people approach me however they feel comfortable. Some people text, some people email, some people call, some people just like online booking, some people, and I'm, it would be foolish to discriminate how you want to interact with my company.
No, you leave all those options open so people feel comfortable dealing business with you. There's one carpet cleaning company that would actually get a letter in cursive, snail mail, that I would like, I would like to schedule this time at this date, and they would simply write back, okay, we have you down this time, this date. Snail mail. Who does that anymore? But they still accommodated that. They didn't call her. They just went ahead and did business like she did, a little old lady, and but that's how she wanted to do business, and they accommodated that.
That's absolutely fine.
Yeah.
I am happy to report we are not picking up anything over here. We've hit this spot multiple times, and it is, for the first time, free of stuff to pick up.
Wow.
That makes me very happy.
Nice.
Success. But we're over by the airport right now, and this is another one of those hot zones.
Hot spots for dumping.
It's sad.
It is.
It makes me. It gives me a reason to do this.
Yeah.
So if it went away, I would also be sad. But no, I wouldn't. I'd figure out a different thing. But like, it makes me happy. It makes me really happy. But yeah, so interacting with your customer. Yeah, I think it's important to let your customer interact with your business. I do think it. Okay, let me ask you this question. Do you
Sure.
think it's important to teach your customers the best way to interact with your business? Do you think that that's a because like can you call up Amazon to order some sheets?
No.
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 Like so obviously some companies restrict how you can interact with how their business works.
We were not. I mean, I can't think of any time, unless I checked with my guys, but I don't remember getting any communication of telling people how to reach us. I've actually got in the office, and I remember you would get notification because we had online scheduling as well.
Yeah.
And it had that timestamp,
Mm-hmm.
2:30 in the morning. That they're scheduling.
Right.
So that's really good. And of course, people still call
Right.
to schedule or
Mhm.
call and say, "What's your ETA?" So we want to make sure that they get a real voice on the.
Yeah.
And we're still passionate about that. That they get somebody with a pulse on the other side of their phone. I get that. Wow.
This is another one. There's a lot over in here, but
Tires.
tires are tough to get rid of. I want to do a tire episode. We don't do tires because
Yeah.
we can't do.
How do they process them?
So here,
I know in a landfill they don't very well. I just remember that.
well, I'll educate you a thing or
Yeah,
two.
educate me.
So in most countries, China,
Mm-hmm.
and some parts of the United States, sadly, they light them on fire.
Really?
And that's just how they dispose of them. They put them in a pit and they light them on fire.
That's too bad. I do know they're finding other uses for them. Actually, putting them in roads now.
So here in Oregon,
Yeah.
there is a company, I believe they're out of Malala, that they take tires and they recycle them. They chew them up and they break them down, and we use them in all sorts of play mats and probably. I would not be shocked if there was road materials.
Yeah.
Like mix it in with asphalt. That makes total sense to me. I mean, if you're gonna burn it, burn it to
quieter.
Yeah. I mean, it does blow my mind that we haven't really changed tire. I mean, tire technology has changed, but
Mm-hmm.
like the way we get rid of it has not changed since the invention of the automobile.
Yeah.
Like that just blows my mind. Like, why are we not?
Well, is there money? Can money be made? Because that's a problem. And anytime you start a business, or if you're looking to be an entrepreneur, the idea is find a problem and fix it.
Right.
Through a business. And so there's opportunity out there as far as, I mean, let's go to the tire guy. Can you think, I mean, if you bust the tire open, there's all these wires in there, all tangled up in there, and the rubber is melted over those tires.
Yeah.
So you got to get that wire, get all that steel out of there.
Mhm.
You've heard of steel belted radials, and so you got to get that steel out of there. And so a lot of challenges, if you're going to recycle tires, you got to overcome that challenge.
Mhm.
Most challenges can be overcome. And that's why I have such a respect for engineers.
Yeah.
They can usually think something through and figure it out.
Solve an easier problem. I do think that there's going to become as far as trash in the trash adjacent industries, I think that landfill mining might become a thing here within the next few decades.
Landfill mining, what's that?
Because might
help you
have
with
to
that.
check to make sure we're recording. We will pull over right here. Are we still recording?
I still see.
Okay.
Yeah, I still see the numbers moving.
Ticking. Tick, tick,
Yep.
tick.
Yeah, we're good.
Cool. So actually, super cool. Back in the day, we used to have these things called electronics, and we'd put precious metals inside them. We still do that to this day.
There's gold in there, I think.
There's gold, there's silver, there's platinum,
Mm-hmm.
and all of that stuff got thrown in the landfill back in the 80s,
Oh, yeah.
70s, 80s, 90s,
Oh, yeah.
early 2000s. We didn't
Mhm.
actually stop doing that until probably about 10, 15 years ago.
Okay, yeah.
So landfills are filled with precious metals.
That would be, oh, man.
But
Landfill mining.
there's huge risk because there's huge methane pockets.
Right.
So there's that. that you have to mitigate. And then once you get the precious metals, they're usually embedded in like silicon wafers. So you have to be able to break the silicon wafers down and be able to process. And there are ways to do it, but there's nothing that it's cost prohibitive.
You have to do it on a massive scale. Yeah.
Right. So that's some engineer's problem. I'm going to walk around because we're at the underpass for Turner Road.
Okay.
And we find couches and stuff over there frequently. But
yeah.
I don't want to. I think there's probably another person over there, and I don't want to have a run-in like we did before. Oh. And then I think we're going to call a dump run on that after this.
Sounds great.
Pretty close.
Sounds great.
Let me check real quick.
All right. Speaking of tires, one bicycle tire.
No, bicycle tires. They don't do anything about bicycle tires. I don't understand why.
Well, Marion County incinerates their trash to electricity, right?
Not anymore.
Not anymore? Tell me about that.
So because of legislation recently, last year, EPA and DEQ made incinerating the trash too expensive. Now, I will make the argument, I will Iron Man the best argument I can. The incinerator, Covanta, they were doing self-monitoring, which I always have a problem with self-monitoring because it's like, oh, we checked everything and we are following the law. Yeah, conflict of interest.
Right.
However, we shut down Covanta. So that is problematic for many reasons. I think I'm headed towards Turner right now. So
yeah, you are.
Maybe need to turn around here. Problem
to the transfer station?
Yes.
You can still go straight.
Oh, can I?
Yeah, absolutely.
Problem one with closing down Covanta was in Marion County, we no longer have a way to dispose of medical waste.
Right, because 100% would go into the incinerator, 10% would come out.
Right.
The air was scrubbed.
Right.
So there's all of that. The technology was there, whether it was maintained or well, that's kind of the question you're talking about.
Right.
Yeah.
But we have no way of disposing of medical waste in Marion County anymore. Marion, Polk, Lane, Benton.
All the surrounding counties, yeah.
All the surrounding, I mean, even as far as Multnomah, like they were handling everything. Another reason why Covanta, from what I heard, I'm not the gossip queen. I'm not going to say something that I think is untrue, but what I've heard is that they were also taking trash from other states and burning it. So that's what I've heard. I don't know if it's true.
I heard the same thing. I heard other counties. So whatever, like if we could take it, we would take it. Right. But if we couldn't, we wouldn't. So yeah, I heard the same thing.
So everything now is being redirected to Coffin Butte down in Corvallis. Coffin Butte is beginning to run out of capacity, and they were just denied expansion. So they are running out of landfill space.
We have a problem.
After that, the closest landfill is out in Arlington, up by the Dalles, which means all the trash from Roseburg north.
That's a shipping cost right there.
Is going to be shipped.
The price of diesel nowadays, that's going to...
Trash costs are going to go through the roof if we do not find a solution.
Right.
Because this is the thing, trash isn't going anywhere. you have to be able to get rid of it.
Right.
So it's a tricky situation. It's just a tricky situation. Now, is that going to impact us today? No. Is that going to impact us in 5 years? Probably not.
But
further
down the road,
I think 20, 30 years from now, I think that's going to be a big problem.
Yeah.
That our children are going to have to face.
Yep.
And it is something that a lot of the trash companies are worried about. The ones that know about it, or the ones that are keeping their eyes on it. It's something that everybody's worried about, and they're all trying to come up with solutions to it, because if we can't figure out a way to deal with that, everybody's going to be... I mean, do you know how much trash an American produces per day?
I was just talking to somebody about that, but I don't know the number. But I do know back in the day there used to be trash burners in the backyard of a lot of houses.
Okay.
Kind of a little chimney. You open it up, but most of it was paper. There was no plastic.
Right.
It was just paper and cans and all that.
Yeah.
And then that ash would go into the trash can. So nowadays, with the advent of plastics and everything's disposable.
Yeah.
You tell me.
4 pounds, a little over 4 pounds per day.
4 pounds a day.
Which is 1,800 pounds a year.
Kind of doing the math in my head. That sounds about right. I mean, when all 4 kids were home, there were 6 of us.
You're emptying the garbage twice a day?
We had a dumpster.
Yeah.
Come to think, I mean, because the business was right next door, so we kind of used the dumpster. But yeah, that and we would bring, the used carpet or the whatever. That was the business trash, but the house trash, I think it was probably, I'd say that would be accurate, if not more.
So if you're throwing away, say your trash is like 3 pounds or 2 pounds a day, right? But on average, right? Which means some days you're not throwing anything away, some days you're throwing couches away.
Right.
Yep. I mean, when you get rid of a carpet, you're throwing, that counts towards your trash consumption.
It does. Carpet's made of plastic.
So, but when you get into years and years and years of trash without service, you get buried quickly. Trash, I've seen people who've gotten into fall behind on their garbage bill, and they just throw it out in the back.
I have seen garages that have been filled with trash bags and stuff like that. Just odorous, horrendous.
And it stinks, and it's terrible, and nobody wants to deal with it, and
it becomes overwhelming.
And then you get and then it becomes overwhelming, and it's that monster that sleeps under the bed that and it's an unfortunate side, but that can become a very real thing very fast if we don't have a solution for the trash here in Marion County. And everybody recognizes it's an issue. Nobody's got a viable solution.
Now, I keep going back to the incinerator. Why can't that be restarted and obviously updated so it's compliant with regulations? Obviously, I'm all for that.
Too expensive.
Yeah.
The company that runs it is out of, I believe, somewhere out of the East Coast.
Okay.
And they don't have any desire to put the money in to bring it up to code. But also they don't, the regulatory bodies don't want to be burning trash because of air quality issues. And again, not to critique, but the idea of closing a reburner that we're burning trash to create energy,
and we're scrubbing it,
the
air.
The solution should not be to truck it to 2 hours east of Portland.
Right. That's not the solution.
But that's the thing is, so then they fire back, okay, well, what's a better solution? I don't know.
Yeah.
Give me a second, I'll think about it. And this is the beautiful thing. This is why I think humans are as great as they are. And I really, truly do, that humanity at its core is good. They are working for the net positive of humanity. Somebody will come up with a solution.
I'm sure they will. It's a matter of coming up with an idea and then going forward with that idea.
Exactly.
Yep.
Exactly. So, it's just everybody needs to sit down and we need to think about it and come up with ideas, because the last thing you want to do is come up with a solution that's actually worse.
Yeah.
Right. I feel like we've got a lot of those.
Yeah, it's going to be expensive, but the other side of it is it an investment that's that's worth taken care of.
Right.
And
well, I mean, and
I think it is. Yeah.
I don't think anybody would argue that it isn't. It's something we have to do.
Yeah.
So, I don't know. I have a few ideas. I think a company that, okay, you don't want to you don't want to invest to update the the reburner, but somebody
might, yeah.
Or maybe we need to have a discussion about changing the regulation standards. Maybe they're
too stringent.
Maybe they're too strict.
Yeah, maybe you can be a little more. Maybe they can be cut back a little bit, because it's like, okay, so we're cutting back a little bit. Maybe there's a little more hydrocarbons in the air, but is it better than a landfill putting more hydrocarbons in the air with the diesel going all the way up there? It may be a trade-off, and you got to think logically and not emotionally. And so,
right. Yeah. I mean, I don't want dirty air.
No, I don't either.
I can understand why they would want that.
Sure. No, I understand that.
I also don't want to be up to my knees I want to be up to my knees in trash, but that's the life I chose.
Yeah. And if you have kids, you've probably seen WALL-E, the Disney, the Pixar movie. Yep. So it's like, boy, we have to go. Is that where we're headed?
Are we going to be packing trash into cubes and building buildings out of it?
Right.
Maybe.
Yeah, maybe.
I don't know. Like, I don't want to live in that smell.
Yeah. We're voracious consumers, and we're also voracious disposable.
And that's another thing that maybe we need to have a discussion about around our relationship with our objects.
Right.
Like Americans are, like you said, voracious consumers. Like, we love our trinkets. We love our shinies. We love our,
it makes us feel good.
It makes us feel good in the moment for a second.
In the moment, the purchase of it.
Right.
And then we never see it again because it's buried somewhere.
Right.
Or it's in the storage. And speaking of which, storage is a business right there. That's amazing.
I always try to Iron Man the best arguments.
Sure.
Like, the thing I could see, and my wife loves this argument, the only reason I could justify a storage unit is for seasonal decor.
Yeah.
Because I need someplace to store it, and to throw it away and repurchase it is not good for the environment and not good for my pocketbook.
I understand, yeah.
With a wife who loves Halloween as much as she does, we've got probably thousands of dollars of Halloween decor.
Oh yeah, and that takes up space.
And it takes up space.
Yeah, and so once a year.
But like anything else, I'm like, if you're literally paying to do nothing with that for the hopes that one day maybe you want it, like. And I'm not trying to uproot the entire storage industry. Like,
no, it's a legitimate industry. It's just kind of interesting because it is an indicator of how we are.
Yeah,
it's an interesting indicator.
We would rather pay thousands of dollars a year to hold on to things that we're never going to use.
Right, and hence I see so many reels about somebody buying, buying a storage place to, they bought it at an auction to go in and salvage whatever's in there because whoever was in there wasn't paying.
Right. Well, and then it repeats the cycle of reselling and and it's like, okay, it's quite odd. Oh,
it's interesting.
Well, good morning.
Good morning. You know what? This is a good looking truck.
It's gonna be better on Monday. It's gonna be getting its graphics.
Is it?
Yeah.
I couldn't tell it was you because it's like a little bit tinted. I was watching it come in. I was like, that's a good looking truck.
It is a good looking truck.
Little...
Yeah. 97301.
You got it.
Thank you, ma'am.
We're so welcome.
The eagle.
The eagle.
The eagle.
Yeah, I mean, people resell things to resell things. Once you get into trash, you really become disillusioned with the idea of possessions.
Really? Tell me about that.
Like, I just don't care for things.
Yeah.
I care for experiences. I care for time with people. I love consumables like food. Big fan of food.
Oh, love food.
Like, if anything, like it's probably created an unhealthy. I've swung the other way. I don't want the newest, fanciest, shiniest anymore. I want the like restored old thing, and I want to keep it alive.
I love restoring old things.
There,
That's a lot of fun.
it feels good.
Yeah.
It feels right.
Repurposing items to make them into something new. I mean, the big thing, the barn wood that you run it through a planer and you put it up inside as all sorts of either the wall to give it that look or
Yeah.
make it into some other type of useful item. It's
Mhm.
amazing. I love it. I love doing it. I love seeing it done. It's something that if I'm ever doom scrolling and somebody's taking something and restoring it and making it, repurposing it, I could just watch that all day,
Yeah.
and all night, and all of that's just
Well,
interests me.
that goes into the whole idea of consumption, right?
Yeah.
Now you're consuming content. Like
Yeah.
everybody watching this, right?
Mhm.
That didn't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. I also forgot to ask you what you thought your weight was.
My weight?
Well, not your weight, but how much weight we brought in.
Yeah, I saw a 10 on there.
Yeah, well, that's it's more than 10 pounds. It is in, I mean, you probably know this, but it's in units of 20.
Right. Let me run that through my head. I'm going to go. I'm going to say I'm going to say probably 540 pounds.
540. I think that's a good.
Yeah, and it's a 20. I was going to say 550, but 540, I would say probably about there.
Okay.
Couches, we had cushions, couches, and the wood, the heaviness on it, that tote. That's what I was kind of all going through there. I mean, you picked up that one couch by yourself, so it's like...
Yeah, well, it's not a good indicator, though, because I lift pianos by myself.
Okay, how's your back?
Not doing well. Actually, my hip is I got told another reason why I'm pushing to get employees and get all that is because doctor told me, she's like, hey, so you have a tear in the cartilage in your pelvic cup.
Mm-hmm. The labrum, I think, is that what's called?
I have no clue.
Something like that.
I don't know. She's like, so I'm not going to tell you that you can't. I'm not going to like restrict your weight because you can lift more than 50 pounds without damaging your body.
Right.
However, no more, like your idea of being an Olympic weightlifter is gone. No more lifting pianos by yourself.
Ditch that.
She's like, I would medically never recommend anything more than 200 pounds that you're lifting with your lower body. So, well, but a piano is like 600.
Yeah.
And when I say I lift a piano by myself, it's slightly exaggerated. I use lifting equipment.
Well, yeah, you use the tools. Yeah, I can't imagine you just grabbing it and lifting it up by yourself.
No,
but no,
I'm not.
No,
Eddie
you lift
Hall.
one side, put it on the track, but other side,
Right.
Yeah, there's other ways to do it.
Exactly.
Okay.
Exactly.
Yeah.
What is he?
I thought he was pointing
He's signaling here.
Yeah,
This is where all the lift decks go.
Gotcha.
We don't have to hand unload.
Oh, nice.
We just
open up and dump.
Open it up and dump. It's nice.
I
Makes you more efficient.
Yeah, no kidding. Efficiency is the key.
Yeah. The other truck has actually, this will be new for the episode. They hydraulics on the last episode we shot, the hydraulics on the truck was out.
Ooh, what happened?
The pump just
the hydraulic pump
just died.
Yeah.
And so we just replaced it, and now it's got a push button. It used to have a lever, but now it's got a push button. So I feel bad because the temperature's not so bad.
Yeah.
All right, I have to open the doors, turn the camera on, and then I'm going to see if I can go pee before these guys get home.
Well, thanks for sharing that.
You're welcome. Tell me about that. I don't know what just happened there. All right,
I'll just hang here.
Okay. Okay. We were just instructed that we have to dump on the right side.
Oh, on the other side of that little thing there?
No. Just
the other side of
we got this like opening here, and everybody dumps on the what would be,
and it's full.
And so they want me to dump on the other side of the pile.
Oh wow.
That's fine. We can do that. We have the technology. So I guess I forgot to ask.
Yeah.
Before we finish this all out.
Yeah.
What is it you do, Shawn? What do you do now that you're no longer a business owner of a carpet cleaning company?
Well, I am a high school business teacher for alternative education.
Okay.
And on the side, I do coaching as well.
Okay.
And so usually just life coaching, or right now I've got a client that's just starting a business.
Yeah.
And she's got a janitorial business, so that's like, oh, that's easy. I happen to have a cleaning business, so yeah, that's what we're going. It's slow, but it's keeps me plenty busy.
Right.
And of course, in the summers, I work on my yard, which I enjoy.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the fun part.
Okay.
Yeah, I enjoy that.
We're gonna. So you work in the school system. What school do you work at?
Roberts High School and Early College High School.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
We're good.
Yeah,
that did feel like that felt like a 500-pound dump. Somewhere in the 500s. That felt right.
We'll see. We'll do some math.
So, this is another thing that I like about my other truck. The hydraulics on this are so slow. They take forever.
You ever see those videos about dump trucks that are all the way up and go under bridges?
Yeah.
Those are fun to watch, but I just cringe.
I cringe, yeah.
Yeah.
It's like, oh!
That's gotta be expensive.
Man. Oh! Oof! All right. Close the doors and then we're out.
There's a competitor right there.
Yeah! Good old Kevin. By the way, he's looking to sell his business if you want to buy.
Is that right?
Yeah. I mean, you or anybody who's watching. Give him a nice little... No. We got, this is the second truck.
Oh, your second truck?
Yeah.
Well, right on.
Yeah.
I can feel it, dude.
Yeah. Yeah, they're looking to sell the, they're looking to sell.
Is that a franchise or just independent?
No, just independent.
Okay. Was it hard to start a junk hauling business? I understood, well, this was years ago, I heard that you have to, it's considered a utility. And so you can't haul, but obviously,
Kind of.
Yeah, what is that? Walk me through that.
So, they operate in Marion County, or at least in Salem, in a sort of a gray area. I have thoughts on it, but as far as starting a junk removal company, it is it's one of those games that it's easy to play, it's difficult to master.
What do you mean? What's that mean?
Without tipping the hand too much.
Yeah.
The game is, you think it's about trash.
Mm-hmm.
It's not. It's not about trash. There are some rules, and the city has cracked down on it before, but because of the amount of people in the industry, or the amount of companies in the industry, in order to litigate against every single one of them would be far too expensive.
Mm-hmm. Well, logic would dictate that you're doing the city a great service by cleaning up trash,
right?
Like what we did today, but also
doing it for
a client, right?
For clients, right? They would prefer. I don't know what the city would prefer. I mean, because the people. I think probably people probably don't care as much as I think they do, or as much as you think they do.
Right.
But the they would prefer that they at least got there, because there's so many of my competitors.
Mm-hmm.
Not
One
Kevin.
we just saw.
Kevin operates above board.
Mm-hmm.
But there's so many that operate below board that the government gets, the government wants their cut.
Right. Obviously.
Like,
yeah.
Everybody wants their piece.
Sure.
And so when you're operating below board, they don't get their cut, and that makes them angry, and so that's when they start getting
fees, or
that's when they start telling people they can't do these things.
Oh, got it.
And they start enforcing the rules. But yeah, no, there's franchise agreements with the city that the trash companies have for certain items, but because junk removal kind of falls in this like weird gray area, nobody's wanted to legally challenge it.
Okay.
Nobody's wanted to take it before a judge and have it properly litigated.
That could happen.
That could at any time, yeah.
Yeah.
Thank you.
How many pounds?
You don't get to know.
Oh, yet. Come on. I'm just dying to know.
I don't even know yet. I gotta look at the receipt. But I gotta hide my card information.
Now, what do you think it is?
Well, I actually thought you were right on the money. But when I saw the final, because I look at the number and I go, okay, I know it's that much weight. I was like, oh, my heart kind of broke because it wasn't 500. It was.
Drum roll, please.
400.
Oh, dang. That was way over.
20 pounds.
420. Oh,
which,
boy.
Close.
Close.
Bob Marley, man.
Yeah.
Okay. So this is the final part of the episode. How can people find what you do? How can people come and get some of what Shawn sells or what Shawn does?
It's Shawn Abbey, ShawnAbbey.com. And I also have a YouTube channel of the same name, Shawn Abbey, on YouTube. And it's also, I have a sub channel, Shawn Abbey 2023.
Okay.
Yeah.
And they can come and they can get some wisdom.
They can contact me. I will talk with them. That would be no problem to give them a quick talk, and then, of course, to see if that's something we can help with. Or sometimes it's just a matter of I would go this direction, and that's all you need. And that's, it's just a free consultation. So a lot of times people just want to just say, here's what I got going, and here's where I want to go. How do I get there? And a lot of times I can just give you some ideas and give you some pointers and give you a kick in the rear and send you on your way.
There it is.
Yeah, that's all it is.
Okay.
Real easy. Real easy. Very accessible.
Very cool. We'll definitely put all those links in the description. The last thing I ask is please like, comment, and subscribe. If you thought the episode was great, let us know. And that's it.
Great.
Thank you so much, Shawn. And thank you so much, everybody.
It was great being here.
Bye.